Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 16 of the Rogue Hunters podcast. We've got a pretty good episode today, some good topics to talk about. I'm joined with the same two other boys, that being Weber
Yo.
and Brian,
That's me.
with myself being Snickle. Before we get into the podcast, I just want to let everybody know that all of our links to our socials are down in the description below. We all want to thank everyone for all of the support recently. And if you have any topics that you want us to discuss in future podcasts, you can either leave them in the comments below of this video or tweet at either one of us or the Rogue Hunters Twitter, and we will include it in the upcoming episodes. Anyway, I think that's all the plugging that I can do. I've run out of outlets, but we could talk about what games we've been playing. Do you want to start us off, Brian?
Yeah, mine will be short. Played a little bit of South Park and Stick of Truth. Got through the first day through South Park, and I'm almost done with Marvel's Avengers.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
Oh my god. I got the grindiest trophies out the way. All I got left is really the Hive, and I got the iconic missions.
Yep.
What else do I got left, actually? I don't have too much left, actually.
So the one thing I'll warn you about, because and Brian and I are gonna work on a video on my channel for it at some point. For the iconic missions, you want to make sure that like all of your characters are at like base level 40, base power level 40.
Okay.
Because that's what the suggested final level for like each iconic mission is for each character.
Alright. Like, all I got left is Iconic Avengers, complete 50 Hives, which I'm over halfway done with, complete Harm Challenges 1 to 5,
Yeah, it'll take like an hour.
and then complete an Elite Heroic Hive, and that's it.
And you'll unlock the Elite Heroic Hive after completing all the iconic missions. It's part of that trophy's tied to the Avengers Initiative like mission line or storyline. It's basically that's like the co-op storyline.
Okay.
So
this should be done this week, and then South Park will take the main focus to get that done. I can get that done probably this weekend, and then I gotta hop back on Tomb Raider just to finish that off.
yeah, you should just tidy that one up.
Oh yeah.
So it sounds like with Marvels, you're basically done like having to log in every single day.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, that was like step one of like this game is over, and then you have
Like,
to grind
I
out
just
the
got-
Hive, and it's like oh god,
I just got that trophy 10 minutes before we started this podcast, so.
hell yeah.
And something I forgot to mention last week, I hit 1,000 trophies on this account. Finally.
Hey, big congrats.
I'm at 1,029 right now.
Nice. Dude, it's such a weird feeling, like investing like I don't want to say so much time because it's probably the same amount of time, but like investing like all of your thought into like how you're gonna do a game, and then when you actually finish it, like that's been my problem the past few days, like because I finished Marvels and I'm like I don't even know what to do now.
Like, I kind of want to go back to the way I was doing the games back in January, but it's kind of hard to when you had to log on to the same game every day.
Yeah, it's like that's like the annoying part. If you didn't have to do that, the game would be like okay. But the thing that sucks is by the time you're done doing your daily log on, like shit, you're basically done the game. So it's not even worth putting it down. Like you might as well just finish up the last few things that you have and
Exactly.
complete the game and just be done with it.
I would have had so much more done yesterday, too, if the servers weren't down for like 4 hours.
Well, you know, I heard. I mean, I guess we can talk about it now, but there's obviously a big update coming out for the game later this month. It's supposed to rework leveling. It's supposed to, I think it's supposed to like fix a few like issues with like doing level or doing like missions on a higher challenge level. But
Yeah.
the big thing that I was reading about was like the way that they're structuring the game, because apparently they're going to try to structure it and make it free to play.
Ugh. I'm so glad we're getting this done now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad we paid the $20 to buy it and get it done, because if it was free to play, like, it's probably going to be over 100 hours, I would think, to platinum.
Oh yeah.
And and like, I don't know about you, but my biggest complaint with the game is like the end game, the so-called end game is like pointless. Like, there's no point of doing hives. There's no point. Like, and Waze can attest to this. Like, a game like Destiny, I feel like did the end game content right. Like, especially Destiny 1, where like you reach like a soft cap level, and then you have to do the end game content to get the best gear in the game, or some of the best gear in the game, to then get to your final level. Where like Marvel isn't like that. It's like you can get the best gear in the game, and then you have to upgrade it with like just normal fucking materials, other than your like major artifact, of course, which you need your to log on to do dailies, but like that just takes time to upgrade.
Right. Like I didn't mind the story for Avengers. I think they went the right route with the story. It was not bad. But the funniest thing is about this next update, you could finally replay the campaign.
Yeah, I still can't believe that you couldn't replay the single player campaign.
Right.
Buy a game and you can't replay the campaign. Like, that's got to be the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life. I think that, and we talked about this last week with the whole games as a service thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that games just struggle as a games as a service because they're just not like this game is not structured properly, and like Square thinks that the way to fix it is to like slow down the leveling, because that's essentially what they're gonna do.
Oh yeah, that's why we grinded out the 250 levels this past week.
Yeah, and the thing is, people are already complaining how grindy the game is. So now we're just gonna make it more grindy? Like, it makes no sense. Like, it's not the fact of the level progression. It's not the fact of any of that. Like, yes, you probably earn levels a little too fast when you're doing hive missions, but when hive missions are your end game content, you should be earning the levels fast. But
see, I feel like the vaults should have been the end game progress, not the hives.
Oh, I 100% agree, because there's no point of doing the hives. You get some upgrade materials. You get upgrade modules. What, 6 to 9 of them? It depends on what they want to give you at the time. I mean, you can go do a vault that's going to take half of the time and get probably more modules and more gear. It doesn't make sense. Like, the end game content in the game is just it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And like, they should have switched the end game content up so that like you had to play it in co-op. That's another thing. You don't have to play this game in co-op if you don't want to.
Right.
I think the issue with like Avengers, at least like the little bit that I saw while you guys were playing it, was that it didn't seem like they wanted to make a multiplayer game. It seemed like they wanted to make a single player game, but then they were forced to make it into a multiplayer game.
And the game would have been better off as just a single player game. Like, the story for it wasn't bad, you know?
Yeah.
But, and then I think they should have just did like a single player game, and then do every time like a new superhero got added, make that DLC. That's all.
I mean, the single player was like really fun. Like, I did enjoy the story just like you did, Brian, and like it took a good 6 to 8 hours to get through it. Wasn't anything crazy, but
right.
I mean, the thing is, I really like the concept of the game. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the concept of like and this is, to be fair, I pre-ordered Avengers back like years ago when they first announced it, because I was like, the concept of this is awesome. I canceled my pre-order because like this game got such a bad rap before it came out, but just the concept of it is amazing. Like, you can squad up and play as different Avengers and play missions. The problem is the missions. The missions are the same thing. You play a drop zone, cool. You experienced it one time. It's the same fucking thing every time. Oh, you want to go play the Hive, which is the end game content? We're just gonna take all the drop zones you've done and combine them into one level now. There's your Hive. There's your end game content.
Well,
what?
I think that's how most of like those types of games are, because like you can like boil down Destiny to being basically that, but I feel like the moment to moment gameplay in Destiny is more engaging, even if it is just shooting the head or like the center of an orb
Yep.
for extra points, while like something like Marvel, you can only mash one button so much before it becomes boring. At
Yeah,
least from what I see.
I agree. And I think the only difference between the two is, I mean, I don't really want to talk. I mean, Destiny 2, I guess, is kind of the same, but um, like in Destiny, right, or Destiny 2 waves, like in vanilla, if you wanted to do a Nightfall, which was like one of the most challenging things in the game that you could do once a week per each of your 3 characters. Like that's another thing. Marvels, you can do anything anytime you want to, other than your daily assignments or your daily missions. Other than that, you want to go get unlimited upgrade modules and upgrade your gear, go right ahead. You want to go get levels galore, go right ahead. Like, but like in Destiny, if you wanted to do a weekly Nightfall or a raid, you had to have the people to do it. If you didn't have 6 people to do a raid, you weren't doing a raid. Where like Marvel is like, oh well, you want to do this? Well, we'll throw the AI in there. That's fine. Like, I feel like the whole co-op and like online section is gone. And then the other thing that I really liked about Destiny was like the puzzling that they added to the raids. Like obviously once you do it the first time, you've experienced it. Like, so it is what it is. But like, I think those puzzles were what made the raids so much fun, because the Nightfalls were only fun because they would add like different modifiers or something.
Yeah. To me, it sounds like the multiplayer was just kind of tacked on.
Yeah.
On Avengers.
Yeah. Like, I agree with you on that, and that's why, like, we got the new Batman, the Arkham games where they're coming out, the
Gotham Knights or whatever.
Yeah, Gotham Knights, you know. I'm excited for that because the Court of Owls is being introduced into the universe for the games. But also, I'm sitting there like, alright, they're making this game online, so I'm like, so maybe it'll be good, and then Suicide Squad's the same way. So, I don't know, I'm kind of up in the air of both those games right now after playing this, but
they're just
I'm a big DC fan, so
yeah.
Co-op like inherently doesn't have to be bad. Like there are good co-op experiences. I can't think of any off the top of my head right now, but I guess like Left 4 Dead and Snickle didn't like it, but Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 6, even though it was not like a good Resident Evil game, was still fun to play with friends and stuff like that. I think the problem was that with Avengers, it seems like they were trying to make like a co-op game, but they were told it has to be monetizable throughout time or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
So then you add all the dumb RPG mechanics of, my number needs to get higher and stuff like that in a game that really doesn't need it. So now you add like pointless grindings and level design that doesn't make sense with the hives and all that, and I feel like that's probably what ruined the Avengers more than anything.
Right. Like the only thing that kept me going, and if I wasn't able to do this with Snickle, I probably would have just dropped this game, in all honesty. But since I was playing Snickle, it made it more fun because me and him basically just talked the whole time doing the hives. So,
yeah, I mean,
other than that, yeah. Oh,
I did some of them by myself, and like it's just pointless. And I think in a game like this, which like I guess Borderlands could be like an example. Like Borderlands can be played by yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's more fun to be played with other people.
Right.
But you don't need other people to play it. So I guess Borderlands is a good example of a game that does it right. Where like this isn't like that, you know? You can play this game 100% by yourself. And like, is it more fun to play with someone? Yeah, it's not necessarily it's more fun. I think it's more of the conversations. But it's just, it's such a pain to play. And I just feel like these games as a service, they mess up on the end game content because they want to make the end game content grindy. So it incentivizes people to pay for microtransactions.
Mm-hmm.
But when your microtransactions are literally to buy like stupid outfits or emotes, like I don't care about that shit, bro. Like I don't care. Honestly, if they had made a microtransaction for $5 or $10 that boosted your XP, I would have bought that shit.
Oh yeah, in a heartbeat.
Like that's the microtransaction I would have bought. Not I don't want to dress my Hulk as fucking, you know, Mr. Gabagool over here. Like I don't care about that. Like I truly don't care. Like so
You didn't like Mafia Hulk?
no.
Hey,
I mean, it was a funny costume, yeah, but I'm not gonna drop real life money on it. The only reason I bought the Thor costume is because they literally give you like a band at the beginning to buy one costume.
mm-hmm.
So I just think these games fail in the end game content when it comes down to it. And like even like I feel like even Borderlands fails in it, but at least Borderlands has a whole ass story to back it up. The other thing that really irritates me about this game, which like if you're gonna make a games as a service, please just do this one thing for me. Just do this one thing. Allow people to join and leave whenever the fuck they want to. If I'm in the middle of the mission and Brian decides to log online, don't make me quit the mission, pick Brian up, and then join back in the mission. Or beat the mission, pick Brian up, play the mission. Like, let Brian join in the middle of the mission. Let it just be a drop-in, drop-out system. Like, that's like the most irritating thing I think when it comes to like a games as a service. And I hope when we play Anthem that it has that feature, Brian, because I may go crazy, but
That's weird that they don't have that feature.
I mean,
well, we're talking about a game that doesn't let you replay the story though, so
that's true. I mean, I never tried to join anyone, so it may have a drop in, like Brian may be able to just join on me if I'm not doing anything, but like Brian can't join on me in the middle of a mission. Brian can't join on me if I'm loading to the Chimera. Brian can't join me if I'm in any sort of loading screen. Like the drop in drop out is so like I feel like that's crucial for a game like this because it just you waste time, you waste effort. It's just it's another annoyance and like it should just be seamless.
mm-hmm.
So you're almost done though.
I can't wait.
You're almost done though. All right, so you've been playing Marvel's Avengers, you've been playing some South Park, which I kind of want to play at some point, and you've been playing what else?
That's really it.
You want to play Tomb Raider. You want to get back to Tomb Raider.
Yeah, I just want to get all I got left is the speed runs. So
yeah, okay.
And Tomb Raider, I might just sit down and do that this weekend.
I mean, you should. I think it will only take like 5 or 6 hours. Just knock that shit out if you can, and just move on. Honestly, you can do that whole trilogy in probably like a weekend. Like Tomb Raider Underworld is the easiest one by far, and I have like full like collectible guides for Anniversary, which is the next one in Underworld. So
because I want to get Tomb Raider done and Ratchet and Clank done because I really want to get back to Sly Cooper. So
I feel it.
I wish I could do Sly again.
Well, this would be my first time ever playing Sly 2. So
low key,
Sly 2 is so good. I fucking love Sly 2, dude.
That's a sequel that lives up to the hype, man. I low key, I kind of want to play him on the PSTV.
Like,
again.
I believe you, Waves. I trust your instinct when it comes to fucking games. So
honestly, I think if not counting Bentley's Hack Pack, Sly is like a franchise I have done. Even the what's it called?
The stacks. Yeah.
Oh, I told Snickle this, Waves, and I found out that Bentley's Hat Pack is on PlayStation now.
Oh, really?
Shit, there you go. You don't need my EU account for that, boy.
I wouldn't play it on there, though.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna fucking drop.
Especially there's one where you have to, like, move the controller with the gyroscope or whatever.
Oh my
god. That one would probably be hell with the fucking lag.
I should play that. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't mind a little remake action on some Sly Cooper.
Oh hell no.
Wouldn't mind.
I thought that's what they were gonna do, like after Ratchet and Clank. I don't know if you can really call it a remake. I guess more of a reimagining, but
yeah,
like when they started doing like those, I thought that's what they were gonna do because remember they announced that Sly Cooper movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what happened to that, but I thought they were gonna make like a remake of Sly 1 to go in tandem with it, and I thought maybe after that they were gonna do Jack and Daxter, but
Dude,
that's not.
I would love I would love a Sly remake. Like, and the crazy thing, this is the crazy thing. I'm sure people know about this. Waves, like you have to know about this, Waves. But like Sly 4 wasn't even made by like the same team. It was literally like
Yeah.
it was like a fan made game.
It's by Senzar Games.
Yeah, it's actually kind of crazy because it was like a fan made game that got turned into like an actual game because they just killed the fucking franchise off, I guess.
What's cool about that is like, I think they showed off Sly 4 to Sony, and then Sony was like, tell you what, make the remasters first, and if people buy them, we'll let you make Sly 4. And people bought it, and that's why if you beat all the Sly games and you get all the platinums, there's a nice little surprise for you at the end.
Yeah, good to know.
I may go back and play them on the TV, man.
Those are like one of the few remasters on the Vita, like those PS2 remasters that actually works.
Shoot. And I got my little device in, so we be playing on the butter.
Get that 1080p.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Once Avengers done, I think I get back in my rotation a little bit better. So
yeah, I feel it. Brian and I got some games that we're gonna play soon too.
The only thing that sucks the only thing that sucks about Sly 2 is that you can't replay the missions.
No.
Sly 3 you can though.
Okay.
It's all good. Alright, Wave, what have you been playing?
Honestly not a lot. Still kind of on the school grind. Yesterday for some reason I did play, and it was a little bit of FF7 remake and a little bit of Devil May Cry 5.
Damn.
But that's
Wave's,
really about it.
Wave's favorite game, Devil May Cry 5.
It's a good game.
I give him credit. He platinumed those games, so oh my
I
god.
played on one game, but
he going for plat number 2.
I've been playing my Switch mostly recently because it's just kind of there
Right.
on my desk, so I'll just take a little break and like pull it out for a bit.
Yeah, I feel it.
That's about it.
Damn. Okay.
What have you been playing, Snickle?
So, basically the same thing as Brian. I was grinding out Marvels. I got done my weekly stuff in Marvels last week, and honestly, I could have like started to play something else, but I just have had the mindset of like finishing this. Plus, I heard about the update coming out, so I was like, yeah, I really need to finish this. So after I finished up my weekly stuff last week, I started to I grinded out like everything that I needed to grind out. They fixed some of the trophies, which I think we talked about last podcast. They fixed some trophies.
Mm-hmm.
And then grinded out the hives the other night with Brian, got that done, and then finished my iconic missions, which I was trying to finish on stream, but I got like really fucked over. So then I just platinumed the game off stream.
Your hell is over though.
Yeah, I'm so glad.
I'm so glad that you're done with Avengers. Just in general.
Yeah, Waze wasn't going to show up to an art stream that was fucking Avengers. You know that?
Yeah, that's why I just decided to platinum it off stream. But get this, so I have a little I have this experience, and I didn't tell Waves about this because he wasn't in here yet. So the other night when I was streaming the game, I started streaming at like 11 or something. It was pretty late. It was on Monday, so like I work out Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So after I worked out and took a shower, I came up and I started to stream, and I was like, all right, so my goal is all I have to do is finish. I think all I had to do is finish the iconic missions because you and I had grinded out the hives. No, we grinded out some of the hives, right, Brian? We finished grinding out the hives. So
yeah, you got your trophy, the last mission I could do for the night.
Yeah. So Brian and I grinded out the hives. Brian's like, okay, this is the last mission. I'm getting off after this. And I was like, all right, cool. So even if I need to do a few more, I'll do them by myself. Well, I ended up getting the trophy on that mission. So, I mean, cool. That made me happy.
I'm a good luck charm.
Yeah. So then I got the hives done, and I was like, all right, all I have left to do is the iconic missions and the elite hive, which are tied together, because you can't do the elite heroic hive till you finish the iconic missions. So I was like, all right, cool. Finish the iconic missions, do the elite hive, call it a day. So I'm going through the iconic missions, and this is why I told you about this earlier, Brian. The last mission for the iconic mission requires it recommends a power level of 40.
Okay.
And I had not had a power level 40 with Black Widow or the Incredible Hulk. So all my other characters I had to level 50, like level 50 overall, and they were power level like 65 or something because I was just doing hives with them.
Mm-hmm.
So Black Widow, I think I was like power level like I was in like the 30s, and Hulk I was literally like power level like 20. I was like halfway there. So I did the Black Widow one. It wasn't too bad because you can like turn invisible and, you know, do all that. So you can kind of cheese it. So then I did the Hulk one, and I was getting my ass beat. I was getting my ass whooped on like basic ass shit. So anyway, I get through. I finally get to the end of the mission, the iconic mission for it. And wouldn't you know, you have to fight Abomination as the final boss for Hulk's iconic mission. And Abomination is level 41, and I was level 32.
Oh my god, you got clapped.
I was getting destroyed. Now, what sucked was the people that were in my party, they scaled to my level. So even though they were like, I had Thor in my party and Iron Man and Miss Marvel, I think, and like my Thor was 150, my Miss Marvel and my Iron Man were both like 65. So like on their own they could clap, but they were scaled to my level, which was 32. So I was getting clapped and they were getting clapped. So I was trying to fight Abomination for probably like, I don't know, 30 minutes or an hour, and then I finally like got him almost dead. I was about to defeat him. Now, mind you, it was like 5 o'clock in the morning. I wanted to get this game done. That's how bad I wanted to get this game done. I was like, I would literally stay up all night, whatever. I want to get this done, like to clear my mind. So anyway, I'm fighting. All of my partners died because like when they go down, for some reason Abomination does like this move, and if you don't revive them in time, he like consumes them. I don't know what the fuck it is, but he literally killed all my teammates. It was just me and him. He had like half an inch of health left, maybe less. So I like kept throwing rocks at him, and I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go fist to fist with him. Like, it's going to be what it's gonna be. And I probably had like 2 or 3 hits left in him, and he wouldn't tap me. And I was fighting him for like 20 minutes, and it was like 5 a.m. I was like, yeah, fuck this, I'm done. Like, I'm done with this. So I ended up like loading the game up the next day. I grinded out some like gear, got to the right level, literally breezed through the level with like normal gear, and finished it up. And then I did the Elite Heroic Hive after, which, by the way, Brian, get ready for that bad boy, because it's 14 waves.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So did that. You have to do like an elite hive, which is like 6, and then you get access to the elite heroic, which is like 14. And then yeah, did that, finished that, and got the platinum off stream because I couldn't put my friend waves through that. I think it took me probably about an hour, maybe a little less. It really depends how lucky you get with like the rooms that you get, because some of them you can do in like 30 seconds, some of them you can do in like 3 minutes. It just depends on how lucky you get.
Alright.
So do you have to do that alone, or can you do it with friends?
I think
I imagine it would be easier with friends.
Yeah, I think you can do it with friends. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure about the iconic missions because, like, if you think about it, like, for the iconic mission, you're supposed to be playing as that character.
Right.
So I'm not sure if you can like play with a friend through an iconic mission.
That's dumb. I don't know. For a multiplayer game, there sure isn't a lot of multiplayer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
the game's dumb.
The multiplayer is like the grindy stuff, but yeah, I ended up finishing up, so I'm just glad to be done with the game. But
I know what game's going to be on my list of not my favorite game for 2021.
Marvel's Avengers.
Yes, sir.
But
I think for mine right now, it's a Control.
Oh, that's a pooper.
Yeah, that's up there too.
I don't even know if I want to play that game anymore. Like, I was kind of hyped for that game, and then I was just like, yeah, I don't know, man.
I
Me
mean,
and
you
Waze talk
might
too much
like
shit
it.
about it.
It's not
You
like
might, yeah.
it's not like there isn't people who don't like it.
It just wasn't for me.
It's just we don't like it.
I just don't like games that are like, I don't like like, it may be different now, but I don't like games that are like, will legitimately put you to sleep. Like, I'm playing a game
The
to like
DLC is
have
better
fun.
than the base game, though. So
Yeah, I mean,
For me, the entire thing made me sleepy.
maybe
that
I
Alan
don't
Wake
know.
DLC kept my attention for a bit. So
But I mean, if
I
you
don't
want
know.
to give it a try, I'm not going to discourage you from giving it a
Oh,
try.
yeah.
But
I mean, I may at some point. You know, I got to make collectible guides for the DLC because there's none around on the internet
yeah,
not in
or
English.
whatever guides. Yeah, but
they're all in Italian or something.
oh, they talk about the gabagool.
We'll get DSP to translate for you.
Isn't Snickle Italian? I know this man's eating lasagna every night.
No, I'm not Italian, but you know, I'm inheriting it, so you know. That's why I be eating the gabagool all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Just turned to an upsell Family Guy.
Yeah, pass me the gabagool.
Bippity boppity.
No, but I've been after I've been in this like weird state after I finished Avengers of like, which I get in this when like I finish games that I invest so much time into. It's just like I don't know what to do anymore. Plus, I've been getting like
Go ahead.
I've been getting like slammed at work, and like I've also been trying to like work on like creating a new YouTube intro. So it's been after I finish Avengers, I have not been like playing anything.
I swear, as soon as Avengers done, I'm popping on my bottle of Jack and pouring me a shot and say this bitch is done.
I'm gonna
What made you want to make a new YouTube intro?
Well, so I had the one, and when I made the new, like, I basically wanted to make a new intro that matched the new logo, so that was kind of like the goal. And then, you know, I used Fiverr, which was a bad idea, and then like I didn't actually want to like make one, even though I had the program to, because like I don't know, I just feel like I get stuck in like these creative blocks where like I'm sure everyone does, where like you just can't, you don't know what you want exactly, but if someone was to like show you, you'd be like, oh yeah, that shit's dope. So like I kind of went into Fiverr like trying to tell people like, hey, do what you want to do, like this is what I'm thinking, but like you can do what you want. And that's kind of how the intro that I'm using now was from Fiverr, and that was when like I was changing my logo, but I didn't like fully change it to the new one. And then I paid someone else on Fiverr to make another logo, and this guy was a shithead, so I asked for my money back, and Fiverr didn't like that. They said they were gonna ban me, but I said they can kiss my ass. Then I got my money back. And then I asked on Twitter for the same thing because Brian mentioned it, and I was talking to this one lady, and she was nice, and then she hasn't talked to me in like a week, so I'm gonna ask her my money back again, or DM her and say I'm canceling the order. I don't know. So now I'm just doing it on my own at my own pace. Plus, I got a little bit of inspiration, sadly, from Marvel. So
No, I feel you on the creative blocks. I've been having those recently also.
it just sucks, man. Like especially when if it comes to like honestly anything creative like sucks, and that's why like
Yeah.
I don't know. That's why like I was hopping back and forth between like logos and stuff because like I wanted to kind of make a new logo because I had kind of been, I don't want to say piggybacking, but I had been taking like the easy way out for like a while, and I was like, no, I just want to like make like something that's mine. And I went through that, and then like I would like hit a block, but I'd be like, I don't feel like doing anything, and then I would think of something new, and then I'd be like, I don't really know. So it's a process.
You do know how to get rid of creative block, right?
How?
Drugs.
No. You're not wrong. I did play Mr. Krabs Overdoses on ketamine, and if you had that type of creativity that Mr. Krabs had, shit would be wild.
Yeah, I mean, like, you see how Ozzy Osbourne is now, you know, like.
Hell
Hey,
yeah.
that man's still a genius.
Hey, he might be a genius, but he can't speak English.
But he can still sing, which I still can't make out how he does
Yeah, I don't
that.
understand that. He can't speak like he can't speak a single word, but he can sing. Like what?
Does he have Alzheimer's or something like that?
No.
He's
He
gonna get
is,
What he
it.
has now?
I forgot what he has. It's not Alzheimer's, though.
Shit, he gonna get it because he bit that bird's head off. Man, fucking
But,
wild.
Yeah, I seen him live a couple years ago, and he's sitting there talking to the crowd. I'm like, I can't understand a fucking word you're saying. Then he starts singing. I'm like, now I can understand you.
He said, "It's like, huh?"
Did he eat the head of a bat? No, a bird.
Yeah,
It was a bat.
bet.
Yeah. Maybe he started growing
Shit, it's a possibility. Now that I think about it, yeah, they're adding this up. Let me get the
That was a
calculator
meme for
out.
a while too.
But no, with being done like Avengers, like I haven't been playing anything, but I want to. I was gonna start working on maybe some like PS3 multiplayer. Brian and I have some multiplayer that we were talking about, and then I'm gonna get back to my. I'm probably gonna get back to my rotation of games. So Hitman and Star Wars, at least for 2 more games, and then we'll see where I sit.
I think at this point right now, Cycle, me and you have a list of maybe like 10 games that we're going to be doing all together.
Yeah, I mean, some of them are long, some of them are not. It's just, it is what it is. And then when my friend Waves finally gets a break from school, we'll be able to finish some games too. So.
And
I remember when I had a list with Snickle before.
You what?
And don't forget, everybody, you get us to 100 subscribers. We do Killzone.
Yeah, I gotta do that
So
on
don't
stream.
so don't get us to 100 subscribers.
Unsub.
If you get us to 1,000 subscribers, that's when Snickle plays a game he don't want to play.
Unsub alert. Unsub alert.
Everyone unsub right now.
Everyone unsub now, please.
Damn, Wade, you're being a detractor.
Someone's got to do it, right?
We need to make
Don't
a
unsub.
sub alert.
Please don't unsub.
Everyone unsub right
Nah, but what were you saying, Waves? I think you got cut off. Before.
Oh, I just said I remember when we used to have like a list of games we were gonna do together.
Yeah, I mean, we still do, and I get Andrew sent me a list, and the thing is, it's like I want to play all the game, and like I know Wave doesn't want to play this game, and I know Brian doesn't want to play this game, and I know Andrew doesn't want to play this game, so or Katz doesn't want to play this game, so I gotta manage the schedules.
You gotta get a PS3 server going on.
Yeah, I need an assistant to manage my. Yo, no lie. Like a year or two ago, like when we were like hardcore boosting shit, I was legit about to make like a Google Calendar to put shit into boost.
I remember that. Weren't you gonna make like a calendar and you said, okay, you were gonna send that to us and be like, put whenever you're free or something like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say like send like a Google Calendar, like put when you're free and what game you want to play it, and we'll play it. Because there was so much shit that was just like going on, and like there still is like so much shit to do, but just one game at a time. We'll get there.
Man. Yeah. Well, there's one we gotta get done before August, and that's really it. So.
Yeah, but that's the next game, so I'm not super worried.
Exactly. We'll get that one done pretty quick, I think.
All right, so I mean that's what we've been playing this week. Not too crazy, but it's something. So have you guys picked any games up this week?
I have.
Okay, nice. Let's hear them.
The Infectious Madness of Dr. Decker.
Me too. Yo, that's crazy. Me too. I picked that up too.
Oh my god.
Dang, it's almost like we bought it at the same time.
Yeah. For $5.
Yeah, that's crazy. That FMV game is going to be fun on stream.
I picked up
nice.
The Quiet Man.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why?
Actually, while we're at it. I don't think I did. I got double check.
So I actually picked up some rare games this week. But
Okay.
I did not pay cheap prices. But anyway, before I get into this, I picked up Resident Evil 3 on the PS and 4 because it was on sale on Amazon for $20. So I picked that up.
Nice. That's a good game.
So
Oh, yeah.
I now have
2 hour plat.
hell yeah. So now I have RE2 and I basically have all the RE games. I just need to say I'm gonna play them at some point. But the rare games that I picked up was well, this one's not rare, but I picked up NCIS on the PS and 3.
Ooh. How
That must
much
have
you pay
cost
for that, if
you
you
a
don't mind
pretty
me
penny.
asking?
$15 for a complete copy.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah,
That's not that bad.
not awful. I was gonna, because this is the last one that I need for the superhero games. I was also gonna pick up Captain America because I don't own Captain America because I
Okay.
could never find it. But I think I'm actually gonna go stop by a store in the next few weeks. It's like a mom and pop shop kind of. It's called Second and Charles, and I'm gonna
Okay.
go in there. They have a really good collection of like older games. I'm just gonna go in and see if they have it and what their pricing is, because that goes for like 40 or 50 on eBay.
I paid $20 on eBay for my copy of Captain America.
Bro, what the fuck?
Man, I'm so dumb because like 2 years ago, I saw Captain America at GameStop for like $15, I think, and I didn't pick it up.
Yeah, I was the same way. I used to always see. So it was crazy before I get to these other games. Back when I used to like look for games at GameStop, dude, it's crazy. Like whenever I saw something over like $10, I was like, yeah, I'll get it next time, or like I'll come in and get. And Captain America was a game that I always saw because
Yeah.
like you could get like Green Lantern, you could get like Thor, you could get all those for 10 at one point. But Captain America for some reason was always like more, and I was always like, I'll wait, and now I waited too fucking long, and it's like stupid expensive now for what it is, at least.
Yeah.
Y'all noticed that like PS3 games are now starting to like shoot up in price.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. It's honestly crazy. But I mean, it just I guess that just happens as the year. That's gonna happen with PS4 games too. I mean, it already kind of has, but
Right. Well, I was in a bidding war for Lollipop Chainsaw a couple weeks ago, and the starting bid was like $15. All right, cool. And this one dude shot up the price to $45. I'm like, really? I'm like, we could have just fucking haggled like up a little bit.
yeah, you didn't have to go like that.
I was like, I would have stopped at 25.
A game that Brian and I were actually talking about on the PS4 that's stupid expensive for some reason now, which I don't understand. I was gonna buy this on Amazon like a few years ago, but I just thought the price was a little too absurd for what it is, and now it's really too absurd for what it is. But Godzilla, the Bandai Namco Godzilla on the PS4 is like $300.
Damn, really?
Yeah.
It doesn't help that the movie franchise, and I don't care what people say, the movie franchise does have something to do with it, because that's how Spider-Man was too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the new Godzilla movie, Godzilla vs. Kong, is coming out, or Kong vs. Godzilla, however the hell they're putting it, is coming out in a couple months.
Yeah,
But still,
it's crazy, man. Like that was a $40 game when it came out, probably, and it's $300 now. But that actually gets to a few games that I picked up. So, I did pick up a PS4 game, and it's one that I've been talking about for a while. And actually, I mean, I guess it's a somewhat good price, but it's still fucking expensive. But
okay.
I bought Gravity Rush Remastered,
Ooh.
physical,
Damn, that must have cost you a good amount.
$150.
Oh my god.
And that's on the cheap side. So, yeah. It's like a sealed copy, so I don't even know if I should open it.
I feel so dumb for not picking that game up one time. That shit was,
right.
When I saw it, it was like $10 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I feel like the week after that, it just shot up in price.
I don't get it. I mean, I do get it because it was only sold on Amazon, so little confusing why that was a thing. But I I mean, I guess it's kind of like you know, I don't know if you guys follow, but like limited run game does that, or limited run games does that, where like they'll release a few games. Like there's a game that limited run games released. We I think we talked about it. We probably didn't talk about it on the
Poop
podcast,
Slinger
but
game.
yeah, Poop Slinger, which is like, I think you can buy it digitally for like nothing. I mean, Gravity Rush is the same way. You can buy it digitally for like $5 on sales, but you know, to get it physical is a whole different thing. Poop Slinger's like thousands of dollars because I think they only made like a handful of copies of them. But limited run games, like those games go out of stock in like the snap of your fingers. The second they go up, they're out of stock. So whatever the hell they're releasing, I mean, people are on it.
Right.
But yeah, I picked up Gravity Rush Remastered, and then I picked up a PS3 game that's kind of unknown but a little rare. It's called World of Outlaws Sprint Cars.
Never heard
I
of it.
don't know that game.
It was only released in the EU, and it's probably more rare than like Africa. Just put that into perspective. So, yeah, I picked that
Did
up.
you pay a lot for that?
I mean, not as much as Gravity Rush, no. Still, I mean, a little bit over what you would pay for the price of a new game. Let's just put it that way.
I kind of want to go through my games and see like if any of them have been appreciated in value.
Well, I feel like all the cult classic ones are like going to now, which is like obviously obvious, but like games like Lollipop Chainsaw. So I think that this game is expensive because it was released by, which I feel like this could be something that becomes something one day, but it was released by THQ. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if that has any significance because like they went out of, you know, they filed for bankruptcy because they invested all their money into the UDraw tablet, which is sitting in my sitting right next to me that I paid $10 for. But pour one out for the homies at THQ.
I wonder if my Nier copy on the PS3 is gonna appreciate in value with the remaster coming up. I know it already has like at least $20, but I wonder if it's gonna appreciate somewhere.
I bought that game at GameStop. I think I paid like $12. Holy shit, this thing's like $50 now.
Yeah. I think when I bought it was like 30 something.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, there's like a lot of PS like 3 games that I remember being like a pain to get that are like expensive. Like I'm looking like one that Brian recently got was Saw 2.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why Saw 2 is more expensive than Saw 1, but like do your thing. I'm looking right here, like Splatterhouse is one that's, you know, somewhat expensive. I wonder if what's the Jack Black game Waves?
Brutal Legend.
Yeah,
Brutal Legend.
I wonder if that one's like kind of expensive. I mean, not awful, like $15. But still,
Well,
like these are games that I was going to GameStop like 4 or 5 years ago getting for like in the $5 bin.
Yeah.
Like
Shadows of the Damned is like $60 now. Alice Madness Returns is $30.
how much is this? Because I got this for
Silent Hill Downpour, which I like got at GameStop for like I want to say $15 is now $50.
I just can't believe. I mean, I guess it is believable. Like all the older games or like cult classic games are gonna be like stupid expensive at some point. But you know,
yeah. But you know, it kind of makes it fun hunting them down though a little bit if you like go store to store too. If you can find them, it kind of makes it more fun in my eyes.
yeah. I mean,
As a collector, you know.
like that was the most fun to me. Like, I'm not a fan of like just buying things on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
But you kind of get to a point when you are like a collector, which I think all three of us are, you know, somewhat collectors to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of hurts my heart that my games are not like out and being displayed and they're down in like bins in my basement right now because I don't have room for them in my room.
I showed you that bookcase.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
when I get the space, I'm buying that or something like that because I gotta get them back out. But
Yeah, I think what did it say? It holds like 500 Blu-ray disc or whatever. Yeah.
yeah, I need like 2 or 3 of them bad boys.
Yeah.
But
I have mine in like a bookcase, but I used to have them like really nicely like alphabetized and all that shit. But like now they're just kind of thrown in there.
I mean, that's how
Right.
mine was, but the space that I had them in, like, I exceeded the like shelves that I had. So like I had them alphabetized, and then I had ones like sitting on the ground, and like my PS4 one was overflowing, which like would probably be way overflowed now. So I just like at some point whenever I, get situated, I want to have a room that's just dedicated to, you know,
Oh yeah.
like an
Like
office, and then all like I'm literally gonna build or like buy enough shelves to cover a whole fucking wall and just load that bad boy up.
right. Like I know, like me and you are the same way, Snickle. We both like buying physical games. I think you're half and half with it, Waves. I think you get if you get. It depends on the price.
I want to get all my games physical. It's just this past year, especially like the big ones. Like I really wanted FF7 Remake and Ghost of Tsushima physical, and I probably will eventually. But like especially this past year, I just couldn't.
I mean, the good thing about those. Sorry, Brian, you to cut you off.
Oh no, go ahead.
But
No,
like,
you're fine.
the good thing about that, Waves, is like those type of games are something where like a few years down the line, they're gonna be like pennies. Like at one point, they're gonna be pennies. Like if you look at games like The Last of Us or Uncharted or anything like that, where like they sold or like even like Horizon. Horizon's a great example where like you can literally go and buy that game brand new for $10. So even if you bought it digitally when it came out for whatever, you can now go if you want to buy it physically just for like just for a collection standpoint. You're not spending an arm and a leg to do that.
Yeah, and like that's why I waited to get what's it called, Yakuza 7 was because I wanted the PS5 copy.
Right.
But money's tight right now, so I can't even get that right now.
I mean, it's fine.
So I'm sitting here looking at. I bought a Valhalla when it first came out. I got it digitally because Amazon told me it was going to take 3 weeks for it to get delivered for the PS5 version. And then I'm sitting there looking at Amazon today. I'm like, physical for $25. Maybe it can be added to the collection.
Yeah, so the Valhalla is a perfect example of why like I really don't like buying games new nowadays, because I mean that game came out how long ago and it's already down to under $30.
October.
Yeah, I mean it's just crazy. The only reason I buy Ubisoft games brand new is I buy Assassin's Creed brand new because I want to play them all day one because I'm fucking retarded. But I also like to buy. Sadly, I'm going to admit this. I do buy the Steelbook version of it because I do like the Steelbooks that they put out. Okay. And I feel like if you don't get the Steelbooks day one, you're kind of SOL unless you get super lucky.
Yeah, I agree.
One game I regret not buying when it came out was Final Fantasy 12, the remaster. Because that Steelbook is so good. And now if you want to get that shit, you gotta pay like I think $100 something.
Yeah,
which I'm not gonna pay that much for like a $20 game.
Yeah, I mean, all I'll say about Steelbooks is like Ubisoft is a little far with them, but to be fair, when you buy the Steelbook, you do get the season pass, so there is some incentive to buying it. But like, if you're ever gonna buy a game and you can get a Steelbook for $10 extra from a collector standpoint, do it, because even if you're gonna do it as like an investment, like games like The Last of Us, Steelbook on the PS3 is like $200. Like most Steelbooks, if you're buying them, especially for games that are gonna be like crazy good, like you're probably, I mean, you never want to buy a game to like as like an investment, but like from like a collector standpoint, I feel like it's good. Like I've done that for a lot of games. A game I recently did that for, which you guys are probably gonna fucking hate me for, but I'm flexing, Ghost of Tsushima.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Low-key flex. I pre-ordered that game literally the day that it got announced, and I pre-ordered the Steelbook, and I think I paid $10 extra for the Steelbook, and yeah.
I wonder how many Steelbooks I have. I'm gonna count them real quick.
I like steelbooks and all, but also to me, like, this is just, it throws me off. Like, it doesn't really go with like all the symbols and all that when it's on the shelf. So I ended up buying 2 copies of the game, like base copy and the digital and the steelbook copy.
That is fair enough, because I will agree that there definitely are some base games that look better than steelbooks, and like even like I have games where I have like the special edition and the normal. Like for instance, so for Batman Arkham Asylum and Batman Arkham City, I have both because I got them both. I got Batman Arkham Asylum for like nothing, and then the special edition of it or whatever is like a holographic like case, and I saw that for cheap, so I bought that. And then for Arkham City, I got that day one, and then I also, like a few years later, I ended up buying the red case one, the greatest hits, because it came with the DLC, and it was like $10. I'm not gonna say no to that. What?
Right. Well,
I have 8 steelbooks.
Hey, nice.
Damn. The Walmart I go to, I always go out and check to see what games they got, see if anything went on sale. And for the last like 2 years, they had South Park: The Fresh and Butthole Steelbook Edition for like $100. And I'm like, I'm not paying $100 for this game.
Damn.
It went on clearance for like $50, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, I might buy you now.
Actually, I have 9 steelbooks.
Hey. The place that I go to that I was talking about, Second and Charles, they also sell steelbooks, and they'll put them out. So like, it's not like GameStop where like you check out and then if they have a steelbook, they have it stored in the back. Most of the times, like, you'll literally get it, like, they'll have the steelbook out, and it's like they literally don't upcharge for the steelbook, which is like the craziest thing. I've got some good steelbooks from there. Like, I got like MW2 hardened edition there, like literally brand new mint. I got God of War Ascension from there. I think I got a few other things from there too. I can't remember.
I got Beyond Two Souls from there.
I think I got Beyond Two Souls from there as well. Yeah.
They fucked it. I don't know if I told y'all, but like they fucked up when I got Beyond Two Souls from there.
Why?
They
How?
priced it as used instead of brand new.
Oh, nice.
So like I should have paid like $70 or something like that, but I ended up paying $20 for it.
Hey, that's nice. Hell yeah. Wave said, keep it coming. Keep it coming. But
I definitely have more PS4 steelbooks, and I think that's mostly because buying what's it called, physical now is kind of more like a collector thing, I feel,
yeah.
rather than just a normal consumer thing. So now there's like more they give you more incentives. Like Best Buy has that whole thing where if you pre-order your games there, if they have like a deal with the publisher, you'll get a steelbook. That's how I have like my Persona 5 Striker steelbook.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
I gotta really start pre-ordering through GameStop or Best Buy more.
Yeah, I'm gonna start pre-ordering through Best Buy now more, because GameStop's like their pre-order incentives now is like a keychain.
Right.
And I'm just like, if I'm gonna have to choose between a steelbook or a keychain, I'm picking a fucking steelbook.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. I used to, I mean, I guess I still do technically, but I used to pre-order through Amazon, because Amazon used to give 20% off pre-orders. Like literally any game. That. Yeah, so you could get a brand new game for $50. I mean, where I am, because I don't pay sales tax, but like I thought that was crazy. I was like, dude, if I'm gonna buy, that's why I used to buy every game brand new, because I was like, if I'm gonna buy, 5-6 games, I'm getting one for free. Like, why wouldn't I do that? But then I kind of stopped, because I still order through Amazon, but I don't pre-order as much, because I've really been looking over the past like few years that like game prices drop overnight.
It depends on the game.
That is true.
I was looking at, because I was going to buy Ghost of Tsushima and FF7 Remake, thinking that maybe the price has fallen now. That's just still like $55. Like it has dropped, but not a lot.
That is
true.
I think
both of them are still around like 50 something.
That is true.
I think if it's more, and that's probably more because of the whole thing going on. But like something like Assassin's Creed that was like so massively produced, because like that every year there's gonna be someone buying Call of Duty and all that shit. That stuff, like depreciates in value really fast just because stores have so many copies of them.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing for FF7. I was like, I'm not gonna buy this day one because I'm not gonna play it day one, and like if I can just wait like a month or two, like I can get this game for like probably pennies to the dollar. But it truly hasn't gone down. I mean, it will at some point. I'm not in a rush to get it, but
Mhm.
I mean, it's just hard to. It's hard to pay, and it sounds shitty, but like it's hard to pay $60 for a game that I know I'm probably not gonna play day one, and
Yeah.
then 2 or 3 months later, it's half the price. Like, I've only been buying games recently day one that I know I'm gonna be like playing day one. Like, for instance,
Exactly.
like Valhalla. Like I knew I was playing Valhalla day one. I've been doing that for like all the Assassin's Creeds. I'm gonna play it day one. But like a lot of other things I don't even play day one, so it's not even worth picking up for the full price.
Yeah. No, I've been kind of the same thing. I've kind of mapped out which games I want to play that are actually going to come out. As of right now, the ones that are coming
RE8.
out,
Yeah.
RE8 and the Nier Replicant remaster.
Mm-hmm.
And,
So,
and
like, those games-
New Ratchet and Clank for me with that.
Oh
So.
yeah, I forgot they announced the release date for that, but but yeah, like I remember I want to say like 2 years ago, I was kind of buying every game I could at day one,
Yeah.
and man, your money goes by fast.
Oh yeah. I'm
Oh, yeah.
I'm just looking through Amazon right now because I do it every once in a while just to see like what the deals are and everything. I mean like a game like Days Gone, which came out how long ago? Not even that long ago, right?
It's about 2 years old now.
Is it?
Yeah.
Damn, it doesn't feel that long. Fuck. Anyway, it's like it's $20, brand new. Now I get it was a plus game, so like it's free, but like that's the stuff I'm talking about with like if you play a plus game and then if you're a collector and you want to buy it for like a collection, like that's a perfect example. You can get that shit brand new sealed for $20. Like
Yeah.
you
It'll
can't
be
really
2
beat
years
that.
old at the end of April.
Damn, that's crazy.
Do y'all know which steelbooks y'all have?
I have Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2.
That's a good one.
God of War 2018, Marvel Spider-Man, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Borderlands 3, Fallout 76, The Last of Us Part 2. I think I have a few more.
I don't know off the top of my head. I mean, I went through a phase of like kind of buying them. So I had like trying to run down my list. So I have Batman Arkham Origins, Bad Company 1, Far Cry 2, uh Beyond Two Souls on the PS3, DMC4 on the PS3.
You have that one?
Yep.
God damn it!
Wave wants it.
I have another one I have on the PS3 that's really good is Force Unleashed 1 Ultimate
Oh, that's
Sith
a good
Edition. I have other ones on the PS3. I can't remember off the top of my head right now because I don't have my games like right on me. But God of War Ascension, AC3
Like,
maybe. But I have a bunch on the PS4. I have fucking
I have-
Battleborn on the PS4. Like what?
Gross.
Yeah, well, I thought I would never mention that game on this fucking podcast again, but here I am.
I have way more on the PS4 than I do on the PS3. I think on PS3 my only one is literally just Beyond Two Souls,
Yeah, I mean,
and then
it's good though.
on the PS4 I have got. Let me see. I've got The Last Guardian, Final Fantasy 15, Persona 5 Strikers, Persona 5 Royal.
Do you have Kiwami 1 and 2?
Yeah, Kiwami 1 and 2.
I think those only released as steelbooks, didn't they?
I want to say yes, but I'm not sure. I don't have the Zero Steelbook. I know that exists. And I have the Bayonetta one.
Hey, that's a good one.
That's a good one, yeah. what would you have you ever gotten those like Rise of the Tomb Raider where it's like a book?
Yeah, that's how mine is. It's not like a because I also funny thing. I think that that's a Square thing because if you get the Hitman trilogy on the PS3, it comes the same way. It comes as a book in a sleeve.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's so fucking stupid. But like the Rise of the Tomb Raider is like a legitimate book.
Because I have like two of those.
Damn, we've
Actually, I have
got
like
two.
three.
He said I got
I have
stupid
like three
money.
of those. So like, Persona Dancing is kind of like that. Then Rise of the Tomb Raider, obviously, and then Yakuza 6 and the remastered collection are kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh.
Yeah.
And the last steelbook I have is the Dark Souls trilogy remastered.
oh, that's a good one.
Oh, that's a really good one. I think I have on the PS4. It's hard on the PS4 because I definitely have more, but I have like, another one I have on the PS3. Funny story. I bought this for the PS4, but it had the PS3 game in it, but I didn't care because I needed the PS3 version. Was Assassin's Creed 4. It was for sale in the PS4 section. I was just gonna buy it for the steelbook, but it turned out to be the PS3 version of the game in the case. I was like, whatever, man, I'll take it. I needed it. So, but I have AC Unity, AC Syndicate. I have all the AC games. So Unity, Syndicate, Origins, Odyssey, Valhalla, all steelbook.
Nice.
I have
I feel kind of.
What's up?
I'm sorry. I was gonna say I feel kind of dumb because like when I first started collecting my games, which is basically whenever I stopped saying, I'm gonna take this back to GameStop or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't buy. I tried to never get the steelbook back then, because I said it. Because to me, I was like, "Oh, none of these look good together on the shelf," and I feel so dumb for saying that back then. Like when I started in high school.
I mean, it's a valid point. Like Brian was talking about it, they just look weird on the shelf together. Like, especially like if you take a look at like the new like all the Ubisoft games, like they send them to you in like I don't know if you guys have ordered any like the new ones, the new steelbooks, but they send them in like you get the steelbook and then the steelbook is in like a clear sleeve. It's like the stupidest looking thing, but they do it for all their games. So like if I was to ever put these on a shelf, which I will at some point, like the clear sleeve is going off of it and being thrown in the basement, like or the attic. I don't ever want to see that shit again.
I have some like that, like the Persona 5 Royal and the like Yakuza ones are like that.
Mm-hmm.
But they have like the PS4 logo on the side, and then like there's some kind of cover art on it.
Yep.
So I like those better because they kind of work with the entire like PS4 logo at the top thing, but like Persona 5 Strikers doesn't have it, so it's kind of like a bunch of blue PS4 logos. Then I get there, it's just a black like case, and then it goes back to being PS4 logos, and that's when I see that my brain is like, I don't like that.
I think it's kind of cool though, especially the only way it's not cool is if they do it and you can't see the name of the game on the spine. But if you can see the name of the game, I think it's kind of cool.
Well, that's my problem with the Spider-Man one for Marvel Spider-Man because it doesn't have the name on the side.
Yeah, and some of the older steelbooks like on the PS3, like I think I don't know. I have a few that are like I think I may even have some on a PS4 that are like this, but the steelbook it didn't have like a legitimate spine, so it would be like two pieces of metal and they were hinged at the spine. So you wouldn't even know what the game is. Because you literally have a hinge. Like, that's what it's showing, a hinge.
So, I went on eBay to see what my steelbook for Dark Souls is going for. It's going for like $200.
Hey, I mean,
Jesus,
good investment right there. Shit.
I wonder how much my entire like Last Guardian Collector's Edition is going for, because one time I looked up the box, which GameStop dented, which makes me a little mad, but I looked up how much just the box is, and that shit's like almost $50.
Yeah, I think I got I didn't get the Last Guardian Steelbook, like I bought it like later on, because I went through a phase on the PS4 when I was just buying Steelbooks just to like buy them, because I was stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked up The Last Guardian, but I think I got it for like $20 at the time, so it must have been like right when the game came out. But another stupid steelbook that I have, oh man, is No Man's Sky.
Oh,
What a dumb fucking steelbook, huh? But I literally got that for like $10 because that was when the game was like shit. It's probably worth way more now, but I got it. I got the whole like collector's edition for like $10. It's kind of nice.
yeah, I remember picking up the Dark Souls one. I was sitting there, I was at GameStop, I'm like, yeah, this looks cool. Looking, I'm like, man, nothing's catching my interest. I just see out of the corner of my eye, I'm like, oh, that's the last one. Oh, it's the whole trilogy. Oh, they're all physical. Oh, it's Steelbook. That's cool.
Oh, I should probably buy this.
Yeah.
I think I have the
This
dark.
is a little off topic, but I just want to bring it up. I hate the new Assassin's Creed spines.
Let me see them.
Cause like from 1 to like I want to say Unity, they were all like white background and like the name of it.
Now they're black.
And now it's like I don't even think they're black. Don't they have like? Doesn't it have like a part of like the cover art or something like that, and then the name? So now it just looks ununiform.
I'm looking at the Odyssey one right now. It looks it's black for me.
Yeah, I have the steelbooks for all of them, but I'm trying
I kind of wish they were all white.
I'm looking at like the limited edition for like Valhalla, but that's from the PS5. Yeah, I just wish I hate when they like try to be like extra with it. Or they try to change it up. Just like keep it the same way you had it. There's no point spending all that time developing it. But no, what I something I wanted to get at earlier before we like got completely on this like whole side rant of collecting games was like I think like cuz I obviously bought these games and like yes, some of them are expensive, but I think what it came down to was these are games where like I was never going to find them in a store, like ever.
Oh yeah.
Like the chance of me finding these in the store, I would have a better chance of playing the Powerball every single week than finding these games in a store. But part of the reason why like I didn't buy games like Captain America or like or certain games is because they're like those games you have the possibility, and I think when it comes to collecting games, like that's kind of the fun of doing it is like heading into GameStop every like once, because I used to go into GameStop. I used to stop by all the GameStops around me like once a week or once every other week and just walk through and see what they had. And I think that was just part of the fun, like walking through, and then when you finally see something that you've been looking for like weeks or months or even years, you're like, holy shit, there it is. Holy shit, this price is actually decent. Like that's such like a satisfying feeling. And I think that's just like the fun about it. It's not actually like collecting the games and like playing them, but like that, I feel like that's part of the fun too, is just finding them, the story of finding them.
There's that, and then like talking to your friends about it also, that makes it like fun. Like I remember when you and me, I don't think Brian was talking to us yet, but like when I was like hardcore like hunting for games, whenever I'd see a game, I'd like send it to you and be like, look what I just found and shit like that.
Yeah, we used to do that all the time. I used to, every time I went in and like found some cool shit, we'd always send it. Funny story, backstory of part of the thing. And I don't know, is it in the disc? Yeah, the chat in the Discord for like recent game pickups came from that, because
Yeah,
like it used to be like me, Waves, and Andrew. I guess Retro was technically in the chat, but he didn't talk. But like we used to send like screenshots of each other or like to each other when we would like go to like a store and like pick up like some crazy ass games or something. So, because I remember doing that too. I would do that at like Second and Charles. I would find like some crazy games. I remember I took a picture like when I found like Earth Defense 2025 or something, and the price tag on it was like $60, and someone was like, "Please don't tell me you spent $60." And I was like, "Nah, I didn't. I don't know why they didn't change that, but here I am."
or there was that time back when I used to have like 1,000 fucking GameStops around me.
It's because they're located in Texas.
Yeah, they're
like their
located
headquarter.
near me. Yeah. But at the same GameStop I found like Leisure Suit Larry, a bunch of like the Silent Hill games. and I remember sending that to you, and then at another GameStop I found like all the Yakuzas, like all the PS3 Yakuzas.
Yeah, which is like
Mhm.
hard. That's hard to do.
Yeah, like
We used to be
that
in
was back in the golden days.
Yeah, we used to be in calls at that time, and like I used to go. This was like when I had my games out, so I could look at them, and I used to have waves. I would like find a game that like I have like a story for like all of my like hard to find games, which is like again why I think it's like fun to like actually go out and look for these games. But I used to go through my list of games, like my hard games, and I would be like, Waves, find this, and he'd be like, yeah, it's just like 20 miles away from me. I'm like, bro, you literally have like all these games that took me like years to find. You have them like next door to you. Like this is unfair.
There was some car game. It was like Baja or something.
Oh yeah,
Baja something.
Edge of Control.
You were like, oh yeah, I only found like one copy near me. I looked that shit up and there was like 30 of them near me.
Anytime I need to find a game, I message Waves first.
Yeah, you should. I mean,
Well, I mean, now
his resources are depleted a little bit, but you know.
Yeah, which
Yeah,
I understand.
last year kind of killed all the GameStops around me.
Waves
Because,
used to
you know,
Waves used to buy games for like Andrew and send them to him.
well, that's what I was gonna do. I'll be like, dude, I'll PayPal you the money. I'll give you a little couple extra bucks and fucking just send me if you could have found Saw 2 for me.
I forget like which game I used to be able to find a lot. I want to say it was Dark Void or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that being talked about a lot. So
It was I could find like 20 of those near me. Now I can't even find one, even if I put like the radius to 100 miles.
I feel
yeah.
like it's not obviously people aren't buying Dark Void. I feel like Amazon or GameStop's just like throwing them away because like that game would literally sell for like $3 or something. Like GameStop's
Yeah.
probably like, yeah, we got like 500 of these things. No one's buying them, so we can sell them and make 1,500, or we can just throw that in the trash and put some other stuff out that's gonna make us more.
And GameStop used to have those like $15 and under like bins.
Oh,
I
I love
miss
those. Those were literally, that was the reason I went to GameStop. Like they would have the 15 and under, and the other ones that I loved was the 5 and under.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Because I would
the
love
5 and unders where I found that like chewed up the one that's missing like that top part of the Blu-ray disc.
Oh yeah.
What was it? Tales from the Borderlands or something like that.
Yeah, I remember that. That shit. Someone got a little hungry.
Like the whole game hunting thing, you know, collecting was the idea for the one video that I'm still waiting to start working on. It's for going around like mom and pop shops or whatever and seeing what you can find and what you pick up.
I feel like it's harder now because now it's like
It's less supply.
there's
Mhm.
there's less supply.
Exactly.
I used to get a bunch of mine from like GameStops, and then if you go to like a lot of mom and pop shops, they've done their research.
Yeah.
So like the games you do want are like locked behind some like jewel case or something,
Yeah,
and you have to get them to do it. And they have them. They usually have them like super overpriced and stuff.
yeah. I got a store out by me called Disc Replay, and they do all their research on everything. So it kind of you go in there if you really have to, or hopefully they have something for a decent price.
Yeah, like the two near me is like there's one called Half Price Books. I don't know if
Okay.
y'all have that.
Yeah, I
But,
think I got one by me.
Yeah, there's like it's like a bookstore usually, but they do have games there.
Mm-hmm.
And they used to not do their research, so I would get like not even like super expensive games, but like semi-expensive games for super cheap there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But now they do their research, so and they also overprice their stuff. The other one's like movie trading company. I don't know if y'all have that near you.
Mm-mm.
But it's usually like a movie place, but they also sell like a bunch of retro games, and it's if it's like a store like that, you might as well like know that they're gonna have their games like overpriced as fuck.
Yeah, retail. Yeah, I have one. The one by me is Second and Charles, and they kind of do their research sometimes, but other times they don't. Like they'll I would say their prices are fair. Like you're not gonna get a low ball, but you're not gonna be paying. You're not gonna have to like donate your kidney or something to get a game. So it's not the end of the world. I miss those $5 boxes at GameStop, dude. And for the most part, like 80% of the box was filled up with like sports games. But like when you found that one, that was literally like digging for gold.
Yeah, I think I found Jurassic the Hunted in one of those bins.
Yeah, I found phenomenal games in there, like John Daly's Pro Stroke Golf, Brutal Legend, shit, what's the other one I'm thinking? Like Eat Lead used to be in there. All like there was so many like good games that were in there. And
Found Mag in there after like 5 years.
oh, rest in peace, rest in peace. But I remember one. So like when I first got into like collecting, like not only collecting but like getting like better versions of games because or not getting like the red box or stuff like the greatest hits. I remember the first game that I had like an experience with was Demon's Souls on the PlayStation and 3. I went into GameStop and this was like, I don't know if you guys know, but like, so to find like a black label Demon's Souls, like not the greatest hits, like I don't know if it is anymore. It used to be like a really hard thing to do because when that game came out, like it did not sell like that many copies. But then as time went on, like it obviously sold more and then it got greatest hits. But like I went in and I saw that they had a red label and I was like going crazy and I was only like $10, you know, it wasn't anything crazy. So I went to check out and the guy like goes behind the counter. You know how GameStop is, they leave their game, they put the games in the drawer. So like if they have one in the drawer, they'll just pull it out. And the guy pulled out a red case, like, and didn't have the black case. So like I was like, nah, I want that case right there. And he looked at me like I had like 5 heads. He was like, what do you mean? Like it's the same game. And I was like, yeah, but the case, like I want the case. Like that's what I want. Like you can give me the red disc. I don't fucking care. I want that case.
Right.
But he was looking at me like I was crazy. And like it's funny because I've just come up with like experiences with people that work at GameStop that like they're literally there for a paycheck. And then I've come across people where like I go there and like I tell them something like that and they're like, oh, you want to do this? I got all these steelbooks in the back. Like take what you want. And it's like, wait, what? It's just completely different dynamic.
Yeah, like once you start talking about like your GameStop experiences, that's where like it goes into like a whole other dimension of like some people are cool as fuck and then some other people are like assholes.
Right.
Yeah, like I get it's a job, but like come on, like how do you work? Like I'm pretty sure I tried to apply at a GameStop when I was in high school and I got rejected. Like what?
Yeah, I've applied to GameStop like a shit ton of times in high school and like early college, and I never got I never got hired for it.
But then you hire this like idiot that doesn't even know who like Mario is. He's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think there was one time I went to go buy Lords of Shadow. And I called them and I was like, hey, do you guys have this game? And they were like, what was the game you were looking for? Transylvania. I was like, how do you not know Castlevania? Castlevania is like one of the most like storied franchises ever.
Yeah, that shit's like so funny. Like, how do you not know? I don't get it. Whatever. They said,
it's more fun when you...
They said Mario. That's that guy that he's a plumber, right? He be laying the pipe.
It's more fun when you walk in and like they got a new employee and they're like, oh, this and that, and try to bullshit you, and then the manager center is like, nah, take care of him. He gives us too much business.
Yeah, or like going in every single week and like seeing the same guy, and like the first time you went in, he's like trying to ask you what you want, and by like the third time, he's like, yeah, I know why he's here.
Yeah. My guy just leaves me alone. Hey, you need anything? Nah. He's like, all right, let me know. All right.
The second I would walk over to that PS3 section, no one would talk to me. They're like, I don't know if they were like, why are you doing this? Or like, he knows what he's looking at. Probably, why are you doing this? But, you know.
I remember there was 1 month where I went into GameStop every week. Or it was like every day for 1 week.
Yeah.
And
I think I did that too.
The guy was like, dude, you're gonna buy out the entire store.
Yeah, fix your fucking inventory, bro. I need some good games. Start calling around.
Like, yeah, man, I need these PS3 games before y'all throw them out in the back.
Yeah, help the homie out here. Come on now. I went in that phase when I like applied for like I had a GameStop credit card at one point. And
Oh, really?
yeah, and I applied for that and got it, and it was like a $2,000 limit, and it was like my second credit card at the time. I was like, I'm going fucking ham, bro. I'm going in right now. And then after the fact, like, 2 months later, I'm like, God damn, why did I do that? But you live and you learn, so,
That's why you get it. I have a credit card just for my gaming shit. I'm not gonna lie. So
I have I don't have a credit card, but I was gonna say I like also like while you're collecting, you start seeing like how like the cases have changed like throughout the time, especially like with PS3 cases.
Oh my God, I love the early PS3 kit. The old Black Label, like
With the where
PlayStation
it
on the
says
spine,
PlayStation,
kind of.
yeah, where you just have like PlayStation 3 like sketched, not sketched, but etched into like the case.
Yeah, at
back
the
then.
top. Yeah, that's funny
Yeah.
because like if anybody else was to just go buy a game, they wouldn't realize it. But like when I look at games on eBay to buy, like you can tell when someone like has a replacement case because they'll have like the new PS3 like cover art, but then they'll have the etched PlayStation 3 on the top, and you're like, hold on, bro, this shit something ain't adding up here. Like, how do you have the new? You got the new cover art with the old. What? You can't be doing that. That's like a sin. That's a game
And then
collecting
there's like
sin.
then there's like 3 games that have like the blue PS3 cover art.
Yeah, I think it's is it Watch Dogs?
I think it's Watch Dogs, Dragon Guard 3.
Dragon
and,
Guard
like,
3
some
was the
MLB
other one I was
game.
thinking of.
Then the other one's like some MLB game.
Maybe like 14.
probably.
You know what's weird about that? Those 3 games are like the only ones that have it, I think. But Persona 5 came out on the PS3, but it has like the new PS3 Black Label.
It doesn't have the blue.
Not like the old. Yeah, it doesn't have the blue.
I don't know why they did the blue. I mean, because like even think
I mean,
about
I
it,
don't
like
know why they did the blue, but
Watch Dogs came out around the same time that AC4 did. So why did AC4 not have a blue label? Like they're both Ubisoft. That's just like a weird. I don't know. But I do want to pick. I own one of those games, so I was always kind of interested in Drakengard, but that was another game that was always like kind of a little too expensive to just go in and buy like a few games. That was like one you went in and bought on its own.
I wonder how much that is. Curious.
Drakengard 3. It's like $30. Oh, this one's like 15.
This one's 25.
So it's like 20 to 30. I mean, it's not awful.
I think I paid like 20 something when I got it.
Bro, here's someone selling the like collector's edition for like $300, and they put in the listing like DLC not guaranteed. What do you mean not guaranteed? Did you redeem it or did you not redeem it? Come on now, man. What the hell?
I had a thing like that, and I think the guys at GameStop fucked up or something.
They used to give it on like on the receipts, didn't they?
Well, I'm talking about like older PS3 games where it was just like a sleeve, like a piece of paper inside the case or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I bought like on the Uncharted 1 and 2 like dual pack, and I think I had Uncharted 3 also actually. No, it's just Uncharted 1 and 2. But if there was like a piece of paper in there, or if you redeem it, it gives you like a bunch of avatars.
Mm-hmm.
And I think GameStop fucked up and gave me like a new version of the dual pack. Because when I redeemed that, it wasn't taken yet, and it's supposed to be used.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. Oh shit. I guess it doesn't matter. No, I'm just not like, since I looked at one game on eBay, it's just like suggesting me games, and Near Replicant on the PS3 came up.
Oh.
Yeah, you gotta do that one before the remaster comes out.
The remastered.
The remaster.
Dude, I can't stop saying that for games. Like that's just a permanent like Red Faction Gorilla, THQ Nordic. Thank you. That's all I can say. Thank you so much, because I can't. They're remastered now. There's no other way to say it.
I catch myself saying that like around other people that isn't just you guys
in conversation. You're like, yo, did you hear about the Final Fantasy VII remaster that came?
Like I forget which you're like near remastered. Like, I'll be talking to my friends. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm really excited for near remastered, and they're like, the what?
You know, the remaster. You know what I'm talking about. The remaster that's coming out. That one.
I love THQ Nordic for that. Just for all their like the way they renamed all of them.
Oh yeah, like Saints Row the Third. What was it?
Re-elected?
No, that was for 4. Saints Row 4 was re-elected. Saints Row the Third was hold on.
It was like Darksiders 1 War Master, Darksiders 2 Definitive. Obviously the remastered.
Yeah, the remaster. Oh my god.
Rehydrated for SpongeBob.
Yeah, rehydrated. It's not on the case. It just says Saints Row the Third remastered, but it I swear when Saints Row the Third came out, when the remaster got talked about, they had like a stupid name for it.
Oh, Kingdoms of Amalur: Re-Reckoning.
Yeah, that's a kind of a stupid one. I'm not gonna lie. They kind of messed that one up, but wait, man, this is gonna bug me now that I can't find it. But Saints Row the Third had like a stupid name. If someone remembers it, please put it down below because I can't remember for the life of me. But is this it? Oh, no.
The Third Mastered?
No, it was, well, they have it on the Switch. It's called Saints Row the Third Full Package, but that wasn't it. That wasn't the name.
I don't think that's it.
Because Saints
I
Row...
think 3 just had remastered.
Saints Row 4 was re-elected because you played as, like, the president. But Saints Row the Third had, like, a different name. I swear to God it had a different name.
I think it's just remastered.
Well, that's what it is on the case. It's just remastered on the case, but I swear to God, it had a different... When they first released it, it had a different name. Unless I was, like, in my dream and I wanted it to be remastered, which I don't think I dream about that stuff, so...
I think you dreamed it, if you want to be honest, Nicole.
I didn't dreamt it.
I
I didn't dreamt it, I swear. Alright, well...
An hour and 30
Yeah, I was gonna say, we can diverge to the next thing, because we're an hour and a half in. We haven't even gotten to the server shutdowns. This is the longest intro we've ever done. But we're making up for it, because we don't have a lot of topics to talk about, so we gotta keep it... We'll keep it moving. So I'll go over my favorite thing, server shutdowns.
Oh, wait, one last thing.
Let's hear it.
I have the Catherine Full Body,
Remaster?
Nah, well, I guess it's remaster, yeah. But I have that, the Steelbook.
Oh, talking about Catherine. So, small story. Catherine on the PS3 has two variants of the cover. So they have the regular one, and then they have one that's less lewd. And the less lewd one is more rare. And
oh, really?
Yeah, and that's the one that I have.
And I knew that was like different covers for like the 360 version compared to the PS3 version.
Yeah.
But I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
I wonder which one I have. I'll look at it real quick.
Okay.
Do the thing while I'm gone.
I'm looking up the Saints Row the Third because it's really pissing me off.
I'm looking for Rhea as well.
Because I swear to God, it like when it first came out, when they first released it, it had a different name. It wasn't just remastered. This is really pissing me off.
I think I have the lewd one.
The lewd one was like the more like common one, but all right. So let's get into it. Brian can do a little bit of research because this isn't going to take too long. So server shutdowns are the same. So March 11th, we have Frozen Synopsis Prime being shut down, which I think is already unobtainable. Maybe not. I may be lying there. I'm not sure. I don't know anything about the game. March 26th, we have Games of Glory going down. Yo, good meme. Today is March 11th, so Frozen Synopsis Prime is going down today. Cool. March 26th, Games of Glory is going down. Not sure what that is. April 29th, Defiance and Defiance 2050 are both going down, but they are both already unobtainable, so do not go for them. May 31st, WWE 2K20 is going down. June 1st, Switchblade is going down. And then December 31st, NBA 2K20 is going down. So, not much has changed going on this forum post. So, that's all we got for server shutdowns. A
I'm
quickie.
just looking at the Catherine case right now. You guys remember instruction manuals?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I miss
It was
those.
called the full package, Nickel.
Was it?
Yeah. Saints Row the Third, the full package
I thought it
for
had a...
Nintendo Switch.
I swear it had a different... It had a different one. So, Waves, look. So, for Catherine... So, the copy that you have, is it the guy sliding down into her bra?
Yeah.
So, the less lewd one is kind of zoomed in. Let me see. It looks like this. So you can't like actually see her taking her shirt off or whatever.
Oh, okay.
It's like kind of just zoomed in more. So that's actually the one that I have because it's like the more rare one apparently. So I just thought it was interesting. It's like the only game that I know where they like changed the box art.
I wonder why. Because, I mean,
It was the start of
it's lewd,
Sony's
but it's not like anything crazy.
bullshit.
Yeah, probably.
You know how they be. You know how Sony be. All right, well, you know, we got some good time. You know, we an hour and 40 into the intro here. No big deal. No big deal. So I'm gonna let Brian take away these topics that we have, just because I
found them.
yeah, he found them. Brian typically finds the topics, and then Brian and Waves kind of find the topics, and then I'm just the ass talker. So
All right. First topic. Diablo 2. We all know it's getting remastered. I can't say it.
the Diablo 2.
Did you guys know
remaster.
that you can actually transfer your 20-year-old game save over to the game?
It's kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
That's kind of cool. I wish I had my 20-year-old save, but yeah.
I mean, I never, like, played Diablo 2, like, back then, but that's cool that you can do that.
Yeah, I thought it was just a cool little thing. I never would have expected that.
The
actually.
question is, how many people that played it 20 years ago are going to be buying it to play it today? Unless they're like anticipating that it'll bring people in that have played it back in the day. I guess that's a
I
possibility.
think it will.
Yeah, it's
I played it back in the day. I'll play it.
kind of like a cult game.
I think
It's Diablo.
Yeah.
I think the ones that are mostly going to be buying it is, like, people who did play back then.
Yeah.
And while also being, like, some people that are curious about Diablo.
Yeah, I agree. I think people who played it back then, or even people who, played Diablo 3 and everything, will buy it and play it. Just to support
Diablo
it.
2. Good game.
I wonder if this is only from, like, the PC version.
That's a good
That
point.
I don't know.
That's a good point.
It would be cool if you could just, like, put it up to the cloud and then, like, download it on your PS4. Is it only PS5 or 4?
Probably. I don't know. Probably. I mean, I would assume both. I have no idea.
But
We don't have, I don't think, all the details yet for it.
Damn.
yeah, I mean, that's cool that they're doing that.
Damn. Can I transfer my 20-year-old save when RuneScape comes out?
They ain't never coming out, Sickle, you know that.
Come on now. Come on.
It gotta be specific, Snickles. It gotta be OSRS.
Exactly. Yes. OSRS. Yo, you know what sucks though? Side topic about OSRS. When they released it as OSRS, you lost all your shit from before. Because they basically
really?
released it as a new game. Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Which
My
kind of...
most experience...
Hmm?
What? I was just gonna say, my most experience with OSRS is sitting in the middle of town square and just leveling up fire making.
Hell yeah. Or dancing at the GE for some money. or for a girlfriend. I don't know. Paying for a girlfriend. Yeah, that was a thing.
Gold for Geo.
Yeah. You know, prostitution was a cool thing back in the day. Basically what it was.
Man, I miss Grand Theft Auto now.
No, but I mean, it was crazy when because I played that game a shit ton back in the day, like way back in the day when it wasn't OSRS, and then they like evolved it to RS3 with like all their bullshit, and then I guess people didn't like it, so they released OSRS, and then when they released it, it was basically like they re-released it as a new game, so nothing transferred. So I remember I signed into my character that I had, and I was like, why the fuck am I at level? I have nothing. I'm at level 1. Like, where's all my shit? And I just read into it, and I was like, they literally reset everything. Because I guess they Control-Alt-deleted the info from the original game.
I wonder, like, if we get remasters of PS3 games. Like, it would be cool if they had some kind of, like, cloud save where you can bring, like, your old PS3 save over. I've lost, like, most of my PS3 saves, but...
Yeah, I mean, it'd be dope. The only downside that I see with, like, cloud saving, like, in general, is, like, you get into the whole, like, whatever, fuck it, auto-popping trophies. Yeah, I mean, it sucks, but, like, you know, people are gonna manipulate it.
Yeah.
I think doing that is, like... Over the years and the months, I've seen it as, like, that's more acceptable when, like, it's just the multiplayer to an extent, because most stuff is saved to a server, so, like, even if you wanted to do it 2 times, you can't. So, it'd be what it'd be.
Yeah.
But the whole Diablo thing is kind of cool. It just goes to show that, like, that's not even, like, a limitation anymore, because, like, you know how, like, Sony or, or Microsoft or anyone tries to say, like, well, we can't physically do that. Like when Sony was trying to say, like, well, we can't physically allow people to, play cross-platform. Like, okay, shut up, you liars.
Yeah, when, like, the day before, people were cross-playing together.
Yeah, because like a developer accidentally flipped the cross-playing switch on, and they're like, oh fuck, we're playing with Xbox people.
Sony's kind of dumb, honestly. Like, they did that, and then the whole, like, Spider-Man PS5 version, being locked behind the special edition of
Miles Morales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, come on, Sony. What the fuck are y'all doing over there?
Yeah, come on, we not that stupid. Like, come on now. But
only sometimes.
Yeah, only sometimes. No, but it's cool to see that the technology is there. So I mean, if any other game was to get remastered from 20 years ago, there's a way to do it.
Oh yeah.
So.
Next topic, we're going to talk about one of our favorite games of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Ghost of Tsushima, actually. The 2 leads for the game will become ambassadors for the island for spreading the name and history of the island. And I think that's really cool that the game sold very well and that they actually recognize what they did and all that they're making them ambassadors for the island.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I mean, I think it's well deserved too. It's
Oh, yeah.
It's not like they're just giving it to anybody. Like, these guys obviously did their history and they know they have the information. So it's not like some random Joe Schmo down the streets getting it. So
yeah, Ghost Tsushima 2 is coming out, and it's kind of funny because on the job application for that game, you have to put down that you played the game and beat the game to apply for the job.
Wait, really?
That's hilarious.
Yes, because you have to know the battle mechanics and the history of the game to work on the new game.
That is so weird.
Yo, what if they put on the thing you had to platinum it? What if they said, not only do you have to platinum it, you got 100% it?
Oh my god. Yeah, because they want you to be familiar with the fighting, the stances and the fighting system.
I wonder how much, if that's actually, like, a real requirement, or they're just saying that, because I know a lot of, like, game companies, they say something like that, and then some random, like, Joe Schmo who worked at, like, Disney for, like, a really long time, they're like, oh man, please stay here. But
No, I think it's cool because like this is the I mean like kind of like relevant, but like this is the type of stuff that I talk about all the time where like they didn't design this game or go into this game like with this outcome, and I feel like that's what a lot of games do nowadays is like they develop the game for like to be the next whatever killer, or they develop the game to to win all the game of the year awards, where like if you just focus on making a good game, a good true game, and you don't focus on being the next whatever killer, or you don't focus on you want to win all the game awards. Like obviously everyone who develops a game wants to win the game awards, but like you know when you I feel like and I mean I wouldn't know because I haven't played it, but like the Last of Us 1 almost like feels that way, where like they try to make
Yeah.
the game so emotional and everything, where like it makes people feel a type of way where like it's going to win a game award just because of the way it makes you feel, where like Ghost of Tsushima is just like, we're a badass fucking game, and like that's what they made.
It's curious that you say that because I started watching this YouTuber. He makes like these really long ass reviews for games, but it goes into like the game mechanics and like the game history of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's like these videos are 3 hours long, but he did one on The Last of Us, and I finished watching it yesterday. And he kind of hits on the same point that you were talking about, where The Last of Us 1, they kind of started because it was back when it was Naughty Dog was 2 teams,
Mm-hmm.
and Last of Us 1 was the B team, so they were kind of like left to their own devices.
Yep.
While the A team was working on the next Uncharted.
Okay.
And he was talking about how the game was pretty much, they said, this is the game we want to make, and they kept on that course. And then their goal wasn't, oh, we want to win every single Game of the Year award and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's when games are, that's when a game is going to be really good, when it's just people who just want to make a game and their goal isn't, oh, I want to be the next Halo killer, which was back then like the whole rage, or oh, I want to be the next Destiny and all that shit.
Right.
Like you just want to
make a good game.
Yeah, and you can obviously see that with Ghost of Tsushima and like how much love and care they put into that game also.
Oh my
Mm-hmm.
god.
Because they actually went to the island of Tsushima and like took pictures and talk to historians to learn about the culture and all that there. Like the whole thing, there's like a thing, you can kill deer in the game, but if you read like through the codexes or whatever,
Mhm.
they talk about how the deer are sacred to the people of Tsushima and stuff like that. And it's cool just reading about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I like when that's the focus of games, and their focus isn't, but like their focus is to make a good game. And like I think the reason I use The Last of Us is because that's the one that I've played. I wanted to say The Last of Us 2, but I haven't played it yet, so I truly don't know. But I feel like The Last of Us was a game made out of passion. It was a passion project where and it did so well and everything that when the second one came out, then their goal is like, we want to decimate and win all the awards. And then you start pulling strings and you make people like feel emotional. And I'm not saying like games can't do that, because Ghost of Tsushima does that to an extent, but like I think it's clear to tell like a passion project, because like the story doesn't, like, stuff doesn't feel forced, it doesn't feel like out of place, and it's not like relying just on like one aspect of the game, whether it being the gameplay or the story or whatever it is. Like Ghost of Tsushima is good all around. There's not a bad thing about. The only thing I would change about Ghost of Tsushima, which would probably make it like my favorite game ever, is if they were able to implement some sort of like good and bad to it, like from a samurai perspective. But then
kind of like an Infamous.
yeah, exactly. But then it kind of ruins the name of the game and the narrative of the game. So I can understand why they didn't do that. But
I think
I liked it because it was more of a struggle within him. That's why.
Yeah.
The way they could do it, where it's like that. I think Andrew told us this before. Where depending on your actions in the game world depends what ending you get. So if you're more sneaky or whatever, throughout the entire game. It could be like the ghost ending or whatever you want to call it, where he like puts on the mask and walks away.
Mm-hmm.
And if you were more playing like a samurai, like going into camps and always like doing a duel or whatever, where you do like the triangle thing,
Right.
that will lean you more towards like the samurai ending or whatever you want to call it, where you I don't know if I should spoil it.
Something else
But,
happens.
yeah, something else happens.
Right.
That's probably like a cool way they could put it in.
I agree with that, and I would have loved to see that with like every time you make a decision, a bar moves, so you kind of know where you are. Because I don't like when games kind of like leave it up to your how you play and your interpretation to then determine what the ending is. Like to always have that kind of like I'm good or I'm evil is like I feel like to have it clearly like displayed to you, not even on like the screen, like it can be in the menu or something, just so you can see like if you are making the right choices or if you're not making the right choices to get what you want to get. But I would have loved to see that, but the only issue that I saw with doing that was you would have to change somewhat of the narrative, because there are main missions in that game where like they only play out one way. So do you just change it to say like, oh, we'll do it this way? Like I'm thinking of one in particular where you have to go, you have to sneak in, like, and I can't see the whole purpose of that mission is like to be stealthy. I don't think you could do that any other way unless you just followed what someone else is saying that they want to do. But I don't know. But then you get into the whole thing of like, does the game's name mean anything? Because does the name Ghost even mean anything anymore?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, like you said, like with the progress bars, like if you're good or evil, Infamous did it perfectly in Second Son, because you had if you're going bad, you had more like the bird, like swallowing the good karma, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then and then if you're going good, you had like the bird, like the good karma, like destroying the evil within it, and then you, based on your karma, of course, you got a different ending, like in any of the Infamous games. And the only thing that really changed was a few missions, like for certain areas, and that was really it.
Yeah, and I think Ghost could have done it like it could have done it phenomenally, because not only would you have the decisions, but you know, then you could get something on the line of Infamous where, you know, you have your light and your dark side powers, or your good and your evil side powers, where like in Ghost you could get that as well. Like if you're playing more ghostly, then you could get, you know, you could get more of those upgrades that were tied to being stealthy and being this. Or if you were more of a samurai, you would get more of those like upgrades. It's cool to have everything mixed into one, don't get me wrong, but I think it could have gone, I don't know what it, if it had that diversity, I don't know if it would have been received as well. So
yeah,
right.
I also wanted to say, I feel like Sucker Punch, not so much anymore, but is so underrated as a studio.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
because a lot of people just see them as, oh, it's the Infamous guys, but like they've made some of like the really good games like for 3 generations now, I guess. Like out of all the mascot games on PS2, Sly is still like my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
And like even though like I'm not I wouldn't say I'm like a huge fan of Infamous, I still really enjoyed those games. But a lot of people like kind of saw it and they were like, oh, it's those guys, like it's just the Infamous guys and stuff.
I think
and like obviously Ghost of Tsushima is just great, beautiful.
I think the thing about Sucker Punch, like when it comes to any of the games that they've produced, is they've never piggybacked off of any other idea.
No.
Like when you look at all of the games that they've put out, like they're all new, fresh ideas. And you could argue when Sly came out that it was just piggybacking off of the 3D platforming at the time. But if you actually sit down and you look at the features that game has to offer compared to its predecessors or compared to the games that it was competing with at the time, it had so many features that even games nowadays don't have. From like stealth mechanics standpoint.
Right.
And that's how all their games have been. I mean, when Infamous came out, Was it the best looking game? No, it's still a
No.
little muddy, but it was 2008, I think, is when the first one came out, right?
I think it was 7.
Okay, so even even earlier, but
Yeah.
but the whole idea of Infamous is like that is, you could argue that that builds off of some sort of like superhero movie, but like Cole's powers and just everything, like it was such an original idea.
Right. And then, like, Second Son, you got, what was it, 3 or 4 different powers?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and then you have Ghost of Tsushima that comes out that's just like it's like literally I don't think there's not even a game to compare it to, even though a lot of people are like, it's like Assassin's Creed. It really isn't. I mean, the only reason people are saying it's like Assassin's Creed is because you can climb on a few rocks. That doesn't make it Assassin's Creed. Just because you can climb on a few rocks, it doesn't make it Assassin's Creed.
I hate that. I hate that comparison so much.
Oh, I do too. I mean, that's what it comes down. Anytime you can parkour on something, the people are like, it's Assassin's Creed. I mean, yeah, I get the comparison, but that's not Assassin's Creed. That's not why Assassin's Creed is Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed isn't even Assassin's Creed nowadays. So, like, you can't even compare Assassin's Creed to Assassin's Creed. How many times can I say this damn word?
I enjoy... Go ahead.
I was gonna say the only way it's Assassin's Creed is that it's in a different time period, and if you're gonna say that, then there's like a bunch of games that like falls under that, like Sekiro, I guess now is considered Assassin's Creed.
Well, you want to know what's funny is that the original creator of Assassin's Creed, Patrice, I think it's Patrice something.
Patrice Desilets.
Yeah. When they made Assassin's Creed, I don't know if it was the first one or the second one off the top of my head. They made like a list of like the I don't know if they called it like the commandments or something, but it was basically a list of things that every Assassin's Creed game should follow. And if you compare that list to what's been released recently, they're not even, you can't even identify them as Assassin's Creed games. Like, so it's crazy to even say that like Ghost of Tsushima is basically Assassin's Creed. I mean, you're saying that because you can climb on a few rocks. It doesn't make it Assassin's Creed. The combat is so elevated above what any Assassin's Creed game ever put out. The progression is, the story is, the exploration. It's all miles better than any Assassin's Creed game.
I hate when people do those types of comparisons, like, between games. And then it kind of takes away the identity of what that game is.
Yeah. I'm just glad that comparison didn't stick for too long. I think people will always compare it, but, like, that it's not a big deal when people, like... It's known as Ghost of Tsushima, not like the Assassin's Creed game, compared to like when you put a game out and someone's like, oh, you're just trying to be the Destiny killer. You know what I mean? Like Anthem comes out and people are like, oh, you were just trying to kill Destiny. Like you don't remember it as Anthem. You remember it as the game that tried to kill Destiny, that killed itself. Like,
yeah.
Like, I like Ghost so much, and I believe in that team so much now. I will buy Ghost Tsushima 2, whatever they're going to call it. I will pre-order it so I get a special collector's edition just for that game.
I'll buy... I don't have one yet, but if they were to re-release Ghost of Tsushima on the PS5 for $60, for $70, I would buy it.
I mean, if you want me to be honest, I'll buy any like Sony exclusive day one. I think like the only one I didn't buy day one was what's it called?
Sackboy?
The motorcycle one.
Motorcycle one.
Motorstorm? No,
the zombies.
No, not Motorstorm. Is it?
Days Gone.
Oh, Days Gone.
Yeah.
He said the motorcycle one. Oh, fuck. the biker man one.
Biker one.
That one and Sackboy are like the only ones I didn't buy day one.
You know what? And Days Gone isn't even that bad.
Honestly, I think I'll like Days Gone because Days Gone gives me the vibe of like, The Walking Dead when The Walking Dead was actually good.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think I will kind of like it when I play it, but...
I like going up against the hordes in Days Gone. I think it was a good concept. Yeah, it wasn't like how they said it was going to be, but damn. Come on, people. Technology can only do so much.
True.
I'll play it eventually, but...
Well, it's going to PC, so...
True. This is
I mean,
true.
I have it on PS4.
I should play it at
I
some
bought
point.
it when it was like $10.
Yeah.
I do want to go for 100% of that game. Platinum and 100%. So.
Doesn't that have like a hard 100%?
It has like
Actually,
I think it has
with the
challenges.
last update, it was the challenges.
Yeah, it's not impossible, but
people do it. It's just practice.
yeah, I mean, I guess what I'm getting at, I think we're all getting at, and like I'll preach this till the day I die. Like when you're developing a game, develop your game and don't piggyback off of. Don't piggyback off of other games, or it's fine to. I think it's fine to use other games' ideas and structures, but like, don't copy and paste it. You know what I mean?
I mean,
like
every game has a little bit of another game in it.
Yeah,
like,
it's always going to. You're always gonna. That's anything nowadays. Anything is gonna copy something that it's preceding, but
like with Ghost of Tsushima, there's obviously some kind of Arkham like fighting style inspiration in there, and there's obviously some kind of a little bit of like Dark Souls in it also.
But it's Sekiro and stuff.
Yeah, and
the parrying system is just phenomenal.
I think what we're trying to say mostly is like don't try to be whatever killer.
Yeah, don't try to be like whatever killer, or don't try to like copy it straight up. Like don't try to make like a game that's like Dark Souls and like use like just take Dark Souls for what it is. Like try to add a different aspect to it. Like you know what, I'll say it. The one game that I got that I'm kind of excited to play, and when I do my Souls games I'm gonna play it, is Mortal Shell. And I think I'm excited to play it because, I like Souls games, and yes, Mortal Shell copies a Souls game, like what a Souls game is, but they add they added something else to it that makes it more interesting, where like you have to learn that feature in the game to be effective at playing the game. And that's like my biggest complaint with like all of these games, like, like Marvel's Avengers and everything, where they're trying to be just like Destiny, where down to the T of copying what color gear is for certain tiers. Like, that's crazy to me that you're just going to copy it straight up.
I think a good way to see like how they're similar but the same. I mean, not similar but the same. Similar but different is like just looking at the entirety of like the hack and slash like genre. Just because like God of War plays nothing like Devil May Cry. Same thing with Bayonetta, plays nothing like Devil May Cry. Then if you want to go like even deeper, like Metal Gear Rising plays nothing like them, and Kingdom Hearts doesn't play anything like them. But like to its core, they're still kind of like that hack and slash type of thing. But they're not trying to be Devil May Cry. They're not trying to be Bayonetta. They're trying to make their own hack and slash that's like their version or whatever.
Yeah, and they add aspects to it that make it that, whether it's combos, or whether it's making someone feel like, one of the biggest things I think you could change in gaming that like really changes the way a game feels. I think Waves probably feels the same way with me, is like the weight that your character feels like they have.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because like I will admit this to the day I die, and I think Waves will too. Like I feel like I can't play The Witcher 3 because I can't get over how Geralt runs. Like I think I would love the world of The Witcher 3. I love that. I think I would love everything about it, the environment, the quests, being almost like just being a Witcher. I think that would be amazing, but I can get behind the combat. I can work with that. I've played a lot of games with shitty combat, so that's fine with me, but I just can't get over the way Geralt runs. Like it honestly pisses me off, and he almost feels too heavy. Like there's too much going on there.
I completely understand. The thing with like Geralt also is that if he feels so floaty, like if you just move the stick a little bit, it feels like he goes full sprint in that direction.
Oh yeah.
and, and like you have no time to react to it. Like the one I like, there's one game I like a lot. That's movement wise, story wise it's fucking dumb. This is Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah.
Every step in that game just feels like you're fucking pounding the earth, and it feels fucking great, and your inputs feel so much better like that. While like in The Witcher 3, it just kind of feels like you're floating along the floor and not really like stepping on anything.
Yeah, and Geralt's like upper body like doesn't move at all. Like it's just it's almost looks like the game is like glitched out when he's running. Like it's so weird. And I feel the same way with Metal Gear. Like watching Metal Gear Solid 5 gameplay, like that like movement looks amazing. And to me, I think like I love the worlds of games, like environments. That's like one of the biggest things. But I think like one of the biggest things for me is just like the way a game like physically plays. Like, and that's one of the things that pisses me off with like racing games. Like, how can you make a racing game and your driving physics are ass? That's the whole point of your game, is to drive.
Well, like the world and the story can only get you so far sometimes in games.
That's like me telling you like I'm a chef and then you ask me to cook you a burger and I fucking char that shit. Well, I cooked it. Like, you're welcome.
Because like at the end of the day, when it comes to gameplay is king. Oh. And if your gameplay is not fun or interesting in some way, no one's gonna want to stay playing at it unless it has like just ridiculous, like insanely good story. I don't know how you can like. Even if it, I don't even like that.
Even if it has that, I don't think you can. I don't like it. That's why I'm trying to get at with like The Witcher. Like, I think I would enjoy every aspect of The Witcher, the story, the environment, the quests, the side quests. I think I would enjoy everything about that game, but I can't get past the way Geralt moves. Like, I just can't. And people have told me like, oh, once you start playing it, you won't look at you like you won't pay attention. Yes, I will. I've noticed it for this long. Yes, I will.
The thing I always hear with The Witcher 3 is like it gets good halfway through, and I hate it when people tell me that so much.
Hey, it's same thing with Cyberpunk, huh?
Yeah. I hate it when people tell me that so much, because like when I play a game and I hear that, my brain is just like, you're in the sucky part right now. And that makes me not want to play it even more.
Yeah, but like the thing is, like the thing that someone might get off at in the middle of the game, you know, you may get off at something at the beginning of the game. Like, like that's like different triggers for different people. I usually, if someone like tells me that, I kind of just like disregard it. But I do have that thought in the back of my brain, like maybe it will get better. And then sometimes when people say it gets better, I'm like, it didn't fucking get better then. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, it didn't get better. It's literally the same shit over and over again. But I think the game that I love when it comes to like a movement standpoint, I mean, sorry to jerk its Jimmy so much, but Ghost of Tsushima I think is phenomenal with its movements.
My only issue with Ghost of Tsushima is when you're inside of a building and the camera zooms in so close to you and you get like tunnel vision inside.
Yeah. But it's actually cool because it makes you feel like you're actually in the building. So I
guess, but it makes it so annoying when you're trying to find like clues and stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
That's like my only real issue with it.
But the other game that I absolutely love the movement for, well, I haven't technically played it yet, but I know it evolves off of it. But like the animations from like Hitman Absolution, which then turn into like Hitman 2016 and stuff. I think that they have like really good, like those animations feel good. Cause like in the older Hitmans, like 47 had like no like motion. Like he was literally like a plank, like walking across the floor. And it was just so bad. And then Absolution just made you actually feel like you were like a person. So yeah. I do like the Assassin's Creeds as well, but I think with the newer ones, they've made it like almost too floaty, especially when you're in combat.
They all look like the running animation from like Brotherhood's multiplayer.
Dude, I said that years ago. I told that to somebody. I was like, okay, look. I said, take this into perspective. I think it was when Odyssey came out. I said, just hear me out here. Odyssey, the running animation, is from Assassin's Creed multiplayer. Like, play like AC4 multiplayer. It's the same animation. They use the same run animation from AC Brotherhood to AC4 in the multiplayer, and the run animation is different than the single player. Why it is, I have no fucking idea, but it is. And I said, play that multiplayer and then go play Odyssey. And after your character starts to move, because in Odyssey, when your character starts to move, because it's an automatic run, your character does this fucking waggle thing where like they shake their ass, and then they get into like a constant running animation, which, to be fair, I kind of like the waggle thing, because like that's how people would run in real life. You wouldn't just start your animation from step one. But I was like, once you get past the waggle and you're in your animation, just compare that to like AC multiplayer. They're the same run animation.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is like crazy. And get this, AC Origins run animation. Do you know where that's from?
Where from?
Assassin's Creed Unity running animation.
Really?
Yep.
I can see it, yeah.
Yep. Valhalla is like kind of its own animation when it comes to running. But I was going to say another game that has that I really love the way it plays. Assassin's Creed Unity.
Unity had cool parkour.
Best parkour. The combat could be tweaked, but like pretty realistic combat. I think like overall, like that's probably my favorite Assassin's Creed game when it comes to the way it feels. But I'll stop jerking Assassin's Creed's Jimmy here. We got off topic again. I'm glad that the two leads are becoming ambassadors for this for the island of Tsushima. They've done it well.
Good on y'all.
Good job, boys.
Half an hour rant about absolutely nothing.
Hell yeah.
I'm telling you, man, we're gonna we gonna rebrand this podcast as like the rant or something.
Ramblins. Rambling.
The rant house or something like that. The Ramblin' Men.
The Rambling Rants.
Rambling Ranch.
Huh.
Nah, you not for waves?
Rambling. Not bad. Alright, for the next one, we have, this is probably one of the biggest news of the week. Microsoft and Bethesda's deal is final. Microsoft now owns, what's the parent company? ZeniMax. For $7.5 billion. Microsoft has come out to say that some games will be exclusive to Xbox and PC. They did not say which ones yet. I can really just... to me, it's no big deal. If I want to play any game that comes out that's exclusive to PC and Xbox, I'm just going to play on my PC. Or go out and buy an Xbox for some reason. Yeah,
they'll be cheap eventually.
What's cool? Yeah. What's like weird about this? I did some reading into it. Microsoft made like a whole new company called Vault or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, from my understanding, if you were to play a Bethesda game, there won't be any like Xbox Game Studios on it.
Huh.
So Bethesda will still be like semi-independent.
Well, that's kind of cool.
And they're gonna kind of like get rid of ZeniMax and that Vault company that I was talking about.
Mm-hmm. Will be the new mother, basically.
Yeah, will basically like take over like what ZeniMax was doing overall.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
Which is like, yeah, it makes sense, but it's kind of weird. Like you wouldn't want your Xbox Game Studios name on
a company you just paid $7.5 billion for. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm just curious to see what they mean by some games.
Well, what the best way I could describe it, and this is what I think. Like, I think the Indiana Jones game might be exclusive to Xbox, but I don't think Microsoft is gonna touch like the big ones like Fallout, Elder Scrolls and Wolfenstein and all that, because that is way too much money they're going to lose.
Yeah.
On games. What's the new one supposed to be? Starfield?
Starfield, yeah.
I think that might be multiplayer. Don't quote me on that one. That one's up in the air.
I think they said new IPs will be
exclusive, or timed exclusive for a certain amount of time. Yeah.
Yeah,
which is fine.
I don't know if that works with Starfield since it was announced so long ago.
And aren't the games supposed to run better on Xbox? So they're not going to play that well anyway. So
they said their best place to play is going to be on Xbox and PC.
Yeah.
I'm also curious. This whole Bethesda acquisition is just so weird because we've never seen such a big company be bought by a console maker.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't even call that anymore.
Apparently, they're still going to have their own E3 press conferences.
Okay.
Bethesda's still going to have their own E3 press conference, and Microsoft's going to have their own.
Okay. I mean...
So, that's weird.
Well, that's a good sign, though, too, that it's going to be multi-plat for a lot of shit, then.
Well, so... I saw something on Twitter the other day. It was probably... It was a bad take. But basically, I guess, people were... It was when this all happened, and people were complaining about, Bethesda games being only on the Xbox or something. And some guy, came in the comments and was basically saying, this is what happens, Sony bought Sucker Punch back in whatever for $255 million, and Sucker Punch's games are only on Sony, Sony products, but, now people are mad that only Bethesda games are going to be on Xbox products. But I just think that's a different experience because, Sony bought Sucker Punch and then all of Sucker Punch's new developed games were on the PlayStation. It's not like they bought Sucker Punch with all of these IPs that were already well known on every platform, and now they're trying to, bottleneck it down to one platform.
Right.
Which makes sense with the whole Bethesda thing, with them saying that any existing IPs will stay multi-platform, where any new IPs or new games that they develop will stay strictly on the Xbox. That makes sense. I mean, that would make sense to me.
It's kind of funny because you got Phil Spencer saying that console exclusives are not gamer friendly,
Mm-hmm.
But then then you get the Xbox fanboys saying, yeah, there shouldn't be console exclusives. Everybody should play everything. But then when Bethesda got bought and this all came out, oh no, console exclusives are where it should be. That's how it should be. Yeah, you guys are flip-flopping on what you originally said now.
That's how it always is. I mean, every time you're losing, you want to say that it's not fair, or this is not fair. But the second you start winning, you're gonna flop back. I mean, the truth of the matter is, make a good console and people want to buy it.
Right. We got Microsoft, who can't make a good console since the 360.
Yeah,
and we got Bethesda, whose games are known to come out with just bugged as shit. So you got two negatives right now with this.
I mean, to be fair, I would be on Xbox right now, because back when I was buying my PlayStation, my PS3, I was gonna get a 360 because the 360 was the hot shit at the time.
Exactly.
And I was gonna get it, but the only reason I got a PS3 was because I knew a few friends that had already had them. So that kind of swayed me to the PS3. But, maybe when the next generation console came out, I would have switched. But they really, on the Xbox One, really fucked up compared to the PS4. And I feel like the Xbox Series X, is that what it is? I don't even know what the fuck it is. They really are fucking the refrigerator up. So, I mean, I don't know what's going on. No one gives a fuck about their teraflops or all that. It's...
Well...
I think... I was gonna say, I wouldn't have cared. Yeah, it would suck to not have Doom on, your PS5 and stuff like that.
Right.
But, sadly, that's how this works, There's people on PC and Xbox that want to play the new God of War, and they want to play this, and they don't want to buy a whole new $500 console just to play that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, this is how it works. If Microsoft has every right that they want to make Fallout and Elder Scrolls and all these other games exclusives, like
That's your right. They own it now.
yeah, if like it sucks that like we won't be having that on PlayStation anymore, especially because PlayStation is kind of lacking in variety of genre when it comes to their first party studios.
Mhm.
Yeah, right now, yeah.
But like this is how it works. Like Sony could be making a shit ton of more money if God of War was on everything, but Sony knows like these are their console sellers. Like people, I can't tell you how many people bought a PS3 solely for The Last of Us when it came out.
Yep.
Right.
That if it wasn't for The Last of Us, the PS3 would not have outsold 360 at the end of the life cycle.
Oh yeah. Well, look how many people bought a PS4 just for Spider-Man.
Yeah, and
God of War
when you
or
take
anything.
when you take PS4 into account, like yeah, Xbox One flubbed it at the beginning, but what kept Sony like having that momentum is all of their first party exclusives. And if they had that on both like Xbox and PC, I don't think you would have seen like the PS4 selling that many units as it is now. Like I don't even know how much it is now. Like close to 100 million or something like that.
Right. Well, there's one YouTuber I like to watch, and he used to be strictly Xbox. And over the last generation, he got just sick of Xbox saying, "Oh, you guys gotta wait for more games, wait for the games." He's like, nothing ever came from it. He's like, and that's what and everybody still says, Microsoft has all these studios, but nothing to show for it. Oh. You've had a full generation, and you haven't showed shit for what you've been working on.
What you mean? They got Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah, made by
which now Sony
Insomniac,
owns,
but that Sony, the company Sony owns now. Yeah.
I mean,
at the end of the day, this is what it comes down to: money talks, and Microsoft bought them for $7.5 million. Not only did they buy them, they bought their IPs, so all of their intellectual properties are Microsoft's now. They own them. They can do what they can publish them on their own console. They can take them in the backyard and shoot them in the back of the head if they want to. They can do whatever they want to with them. They own them. So, I mean, it makes sense from a fan standpoint for games that are already known to just keep releasing them on both consoles. But it would be a strong arm move to make them exclusives. So it would be a good move for them.
Like, I can see, but Microsoft's gonna want, I don't care who you are, $7.5 billion. You're gonna want to see your money back.
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel like it would be better if they did make it exclusive, because then that would put a fire up under Sony's ass to actually make something other than like a third-person
action
game. Yeah. Action game.
I agree. Like, you know what? Like, there's that side that, like, I agree with you 100% Waves on that. But also there's our move. They're a business. They got to make their money back. And why would you shut off that market? I can see once they get, like, maybe half their money back, then put it everything exclusive, or wait till they get their, at least break even.
Microsoft's going to make their money back. Like, this was probably just pocket change to them, honestly.
Right, but no matter what, in a business standpoint, though, it's still $7.5 billion.
The entire, like, Windows part of Microsoft is subsidizing anything Microsoft's make. Like, I don't think Xbox in general is making them enough money for Microsoft to really care.
Right.
Microsoft doesn't, or like, yeah, the Xbox isn't making enough money to pay for that, let's be honest. But you have to look at it from like a cost benefit. Like, does it make sense for them to make it only exclusive to hope that people will buy their consoles to play it? Or does it make sense for them to make it on every console and people won't buy their consoles, but they'll make more money on more copies of games sold? So, like, you got to look.
Right.
And I think it's something that they won't go into immediately, but over time they may. Maybe they'll release the numbered Fallouts on every console, but Xbox will get, something like, Uncharted Lost Legacy to us on the PlayStation, even though Uncharted's on the PlayStation. But like something that is like a standalone game that could be like a DLC only on the Xbox. Obviously
Right.
they're gonna get time. They'll probably get timed exclusive like DLC drops and stuff if it's gonna be on cross-platform. But yeah, I don't
You
know.
know it, and Sony does have money. We all know that, but their only contributor to why Sony's still alive is PlayStation. You know, but I think I sent you guys the picture from the one video how Sony in quarter 3, their PSN revenue was $5.06 billion.
Yeah, that's crazy.
3.3 billion in profit for all of 2020. That's not chump change, but that's nothing compared to what Microsoft makes. But that's only because of Windows. I try to compare
The console.
Xbox to
Yeah.
console to console.
It's just, I mean, again, they'll be able to do what they want, and it's going to be interesting to see what they do.
Right. There's no point in bitching about it if whatever happens happens.
No, I mean, I guess what I like the reason that I was like laughing at the take that I saw was just like someone was trying to compare like Sucker Punch, who had made like prior to Sony buying them like nothing, and then they're like, oh well, they bought them. Well, they're funding the games they make, so they have the right to make them exclusives, just like Xbox has 100% rights to make any games that they develop now exclusives.
Right, like Sony bought Insomniac last year, so
I just we'll have to wait and see what happens. It's all
Insomniac
kind of speculation at the moment.
Insomniac only made like 2 games that weren't on PlayStation, right?
exactly. Yeah, Sunset Overdrive, and I forgot what the other one was.
Fuse.
Yeah, but
God, fuck that game.
but still, don't. Sony's more picky when there comes to their acquisition. I cannot talk. It's 1 a.m.
Acquisitions.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think Sony was gonna buy not Microsoft, Bethesda at one point, because I remember when like the rumors of Bethesda looking for a buyer happened.
Mm-hmm.
It was Sony that was like everybody was saying was gonna do it. I guess 7.5 billion was too much for Sony, and instead they got like those deals with those games being exclusive for a year on PS5.
Nah, it is what it is. Like I rather see Sony buy like Blue Point or something that actually brings out a game that's not broken all the time.
I mean, the only reason they didn't buy them just for the studios, they bought them for like their IPs. That's what it comes down to. I mean,
oh yeah,
that's an IP is more.
The IP is way more profitable than them buying like.
Exactly.
Out of that acquisition, the only like studios that you can say are, worth buying is Bethesda Game Studios, and purely for name brand and software for both technology and name brand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just sucks. It just sucks to see like all of like I don't want to ever see like all of these like developers and publishers be like absorbed into like Sony or Microsoft, like
right, or even Nintendo.
Or Nintendo. It's something that I wouldn't want to see. But like the point that you made earlier, Waves, if Xbox ends up making these games exclusives, I think it will light a fire under Sony's ass, and we all know as consumers that the best way to get the best product is by a little bit of competition. So if it ends up being something, then either there's going to be a competition and Sony's going to compete with them, or they're just going to lay down and let Bethesda and Microsoft just walk all over them, which we hope that they don't do. But
well, I think this is Microsoft's answer for after like 5 to 6 years of being fucked over or being destroyed by Sony. They finally came out with an answer, and that was buying Bethesda.
Yeah, but it still doesn't solve their console problems that they have.
I mean, no, their consoles suck.
The Xbox One from a UI, I mean, I'm not saying that Sony has the best UIs. I think that, everyone could definitely improve from it, but god damn, that Microsoft One UI is
right.
I mean, I think you get a virus just turning the console on.
You know, and yeah, the Sony might be a weaker system. Yeah, go ahead, but it's whooping your fucking ass, Microsoft.
I mean, it doesn't like the power thing is just not even like.
Oh no, it's just words for that.
It's just words. If you look at the like we talked about, the optimization of game sizes, which I think is going to become a big thing down the line because when you can only download 5 games to play at once,
Mm-hmm.
optimization is going to be a big thing. And the other thing with optimization is just like I think optimization helps graphically as well and your experience. Like it's not just file size. It's there's so many other aspects to it that it would help with. And
the Kraken software in Sony is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's doing that for them.
Yeah, they have the IPs, they have the studios. It's now they're looking. I'm assuming they're looking at the next side, which keep going. It does make me laugh though, because a lot of these like, what was that Platinum Games game that was supposed to come out on the Xbox that got fucking just thrown in the trash?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
It was the dragon. We had like a dragon partner or something.
Scalebound.
Scalebound. Yeah.
Like when Microsoft threw that in the garbage, I just like that was almost. I'm not gonna say that was the end of the line, but like, I just didn't understand it. Like,
you don't throw Platinum.
You literally
games
have a phenomenal idea that really. I mean, yes, Sony has. You could say that they're copying the Last Guardian aspect, but that's like copying other things. But like, you have a company making it that has a phenomenal track record of making great hack and slash games, and you just threw it in the trash. So
yeah,
money could have fixed that one for them.
I wonder what
that was the
behind
point where
the scenes
Microsoft really fucked up.
I wonder what happened behind the scenes with that game.
I would love to know. I would honestly love to know, because I don't see from unless there was something detrimental going on behind the scenes or something was happening and I don't know what could happen, because that like the idea of the game, Platinum Games making it, the gameplay that we saw, like obviously it wasn't polished, but like you can work from that. I mean, and if you're saying that something's wrong with the game engine or something like that, I mean, look at like EA. I mean, EA has released all the new Need for Speed games on the Frostbite engine, and they've openly come out, like Criterion has openly come out and said like, we can't fucking work on this engine, but we still make these games. Like,
yeah, which EA is finally like letting them work on whatever engine they want to work.
Yeah,
thankfully.
Thank the fucking Lord. But I don't know. I would love to know. What goes on behind or what happened behind the scenes and why that stopped. But I mean, the only thing I can see is money. But like, if Microsoft's out here flexing $7.5 billion to buy Bethesda, money ain't an issue to them apparently.
Right?
Yeah, I'm curious to see, because like you had Kamiya working on it, which Kamiya has not made a bad game. If you look up his like games that he's directed on.
Mm-hmm.
All fucking bangers. Not a single one that's bad. 2, it's Platinum Games. Like, you don't just cancel a Platinum Games game. I don't know, or especially like how crazy that fan base is.
Yeah, first time in history, I guess.
And then like 3, it's like
the concept of the game was great. It was original.
Yeah, like I hadn't seen a game like that before.
Yeah, I would go as far to say it was an original game. I mean, obviously, like we were talking about earlier, every game kind of steals from another game from some concept, but from what we saw, it was definitely an original idea. So
yeah,
only time will tell what happens with Bethesda, though, and I guess we'll be here to watch it happen.
What's their next game that's supposed to be coming out? Just Bethesda as a whole, do we know?
I don't even. I wouldn't even know. I mean,
when I was reading earlier, Starfield. They're trying to say Starfield's going to come out this year.
I'm not talking about like just Bethesda game studios, or like just Bethesda as a whole.
I mean, their next fucking game should be Elder Scrolls 6. But I mean, if you look at like the time period from when games were released, I mean, that would be like the next like banger that they would put out. And if that was to be a Microsoft exclusive or Xbox exclusive, that would shake shit around, because that game's
That would
already
sell
been
consoles.
a big fucking hype. So
Mm-hmm.
Guess we'll just have to wait and see.
I mean, it's
Oh,
10.
I can't wait.
You're talking this November is going to be 10 years that Skyrim came out.
Damn, really?
Yeah, it came out on
Yeah,
11.
'cause
It came out on
2011.
11/11/11.
That's crazy.
Yep.
I should earn the platinum on 11/11/21 then.
Hey,
You know,
10-year legacy. I think I have it on my account. When did I play it? My friend came over and played it.
you know what this means, right, Snickle?
I played it in
mean,
December 2011 waves. I played Skyrim. Hell yeah.
Get the platinum, Snickle. Do it on get the platinum on the anniversary.
Yikers.
You know what this means, right?
What?
Microsoft now owns the best IP of all time. Rogue Warrior.
Oh yeah, they can have it. They can have it. They can that can burn in hell. Actually, I kind of want to play that on stream. That'd be a fun game.
Yeah.
Little stupid, but
All
right. Well, we'll keep everyone updated when the Bethesda stuff happens, but it is what it is. So, since this is a trophy podcast,
Shocking. We never talk about trophies.
yeah, I know, right? Isn't that crazy? I felt like it would be necessary to just have a quick discussion about a trophy topic. Again, if you guys have any topics that you want us to discuss, gaming and or trophy related, you can leave them in the comments below. Just a little question, and we can have a little conversation. Hopefully, this won't go for too long, because it is late and we're getting there.
And Brian has work in the morning.
Yes.
I drank a coffee.
So does Nicole.
I'm wired right now.
Waves is juiced up, so that's good. But the topic this week is why is every game 10% waves? Why is every why is every platinum like rare, like less rare nowadays?
Because they're easy.
I mean, that is the short and sweet answer.
That is the bottom line, yeah.
Oh. Well, I thought you asked a question, I answered it.
He is right. I mean, I think that is what it comes down to. They definitely, like, games definitely are easier nowadays, but like the games that I always compare to is like, I hate to just keep talking about this franchise, but like I just can't stop. Like Assassin's Creed.
Oh my god.
God.
Surprise,
Well,
surprise.
good night, everybody.
Surprise, surprise. But if you look at all the new Assassin's Creed games, mainly this new trilogy that came out, that being Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla, you guys have played them. I mean, have you guys Waves platinumed Odyssey?
I did Odyssey and Origins. I played on both those.
Nice.
I'm like one trophy away from Origins.
Waves platinumed Odyssey because I stole his platinum one time. But I mean, you guys know playing these games. Like these games, I think Origins was probably like a 60 to 80 hour platinum. Odyssey was probably like 80 to 100. Valhalla is like probably closer to 100. It seems like they're getting longer or taking longer as they go along. But these games are still like 30% platinums. And we're not talking 30% platinum with like a low amount of game owners. Like Odyssey has almost 200,000 game owners. Origins has almost 300,000 game owners.
Isn't Ghost of Tsushima like 50%?
Ghost of Tsushima is almost at 51%.
Damn.
And again, the only explanation is it easy.
Well, I think also that there are more trophy hunters now than there were back on the PS3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the PS4 did sell really well, so maybe that's another thing as well.
Because like you said, Snickle, like back then you didn't make a conscious choice of choosing to be a trophy hunter.
Mm-hmm.
It was more you just kind of started.
Yeah.
So a lot of people would play these games, but wouldn't necessarily get all the trophies.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, like now, there are people that are actively choose to be to be a trophy hunter, and they're whenever they buy a game, it's like, oh, I have to get the 100% in this. And while back then it wasn't that much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I completely understand it, because it definitely is a conscious decision that people are making, and you know, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I think, you know, obviously the more people in the community, the better for everybody. Typically, I mean, some people can be interesting, but that's to put that lightly. But no, I think, yeah, it is definitely a conscious decision that people are making, and you definitely have to, you know, you're not gonna play a game and not try to get the platinum, like you said, Waves. I think a lot of people are going in thinking that, and I think a lot of aspect also comes down to, you know, sadly, multiplayer. And it's not necessarily a game having multiplayer or having trophies that are difficult in multiplayer. But again, Assassin's Creed, if you look at Brotherhood, it was a bitch. Multiplayer wise, it was a bitch. But if you look at all the Assassin's Creeds after that, Revelations, 3, Black Flag, even Black Flag was a little bit of a bitch. If you look at all of those, so if you look at just Revelations and 3 on a PS3, if you look at the platinum percentage, I mean, Revelations is an 8.5% platinum. Assassin's Creed 3 is a 5.24% platinum. Now, Revelations from a single player standpoint is dirt easy. We're talking AC2 easy. Now, put this into perspective. What do you think AC2's platinum is on the PS3?
Like 20, 10%, what was it?
Almost 25%. So, I mean, you have a game here on a PS3, older than all the other ones, no multiplayer, 25%. You have AC Revelations, which, by the way, only requires you to get to rank 20, I'm pretty sure. It's very easy. Single player, just as easy as AC2, maybe even easier, because I don't think you have to do any sort of collectible. You probably do, but it's not feather level. 8.5%. AC3, a little bit single player, a little bit longer, a little more intensive. Granted, I think from Brotherhood up to Syndicate, you did have to do the 100% syncs as well, which I think is another factor. Having to do any sort of like 100% checklist is always like, that's always like a platinum percentage killer, I feel like.
Yeah.
But when you add that in with the multiplayer, like, you have like 3 aspects. And I have a theory that all these new like games that Sony's putting out, they make the trophy lists easier to kind of entice people to get into trophy hunting in other games. Like, this is unintentionally, of course, because I also don't think that they care about trophies.
Yeah.
But I think it's an unintentional way of getting people into trophy hunting. I mean, if you play Ghost of Tsushima, if you play, you know, Marvel Spider-Man, and you get the platinum and you see that you can do this, maybe when you go to play Assassin's Creed Odyssey, even if it takes 80 hours, you're going to try to do it. So I think that kind of adds to it. But I think the main thing is just that there's so many things that you don't, or there's so many things that you don't have to do compared to the past, whether it being, like I said, multiplayer, whether it be 100%. Because you take a game like RDR2, right? That game has both. Yeah. I mean, you have a long story. You have a 100% checklist you have to do. You have an extensive multiplayer that you have to do. And that's like a 2% platinum. But if you were to look at it from a time perspective between like RDR2 compared to like AC Valhalla, you're probably looking at comparable times. Maybe RDR2 a little bit longer. I think like Power PYX estimated like 300 hours. I don't think it's anywhere close to that. But I think from like a time perspective, I wouldn't say they're comparable, but RDR2 has a little bit more. But like, you just look at the platinum percentage and you're like, what? This one's 14 and this one's 2. So I just think it's
And I feel like now, if like a trophy list is hard, it's like they made an active decision to make it hard.
Yeah.
Compared to like back then, where it was just kind of hard because one, developers didn't know how to make trophies like more engaging, I guess. So they would just put like random trophies in. And two, I feel like games back then asked more of you compared to like now.
Well, yeah, and I think that they tried to back in the day. I think that they, and I still think that they do it today in some games, not all games, but I think back in the day they really tried to get people to, or they made their trophy lists around just like progression in their games, and it was all kind of leading up to the 100%, which like for us is normal because that's how we've always played games. We've always played games to get the 100% completion. We've always played, so like us doing that is normal to us. Thus, getting the platinum is normal to us. That's why when I play a game nowadays and I'm like, wait, I don't even have to do the wait, why don't I have, like, I'm sitting there when Odyssey came out and I'm like, there's all these check marks or whatever on the fucking map and I don't have to do any of them. Like I was literally having a conniption, but it's like I don't have to do these for the platinum, so I'm not gonna waste my time. But like that's just like, I feel like trophy lists are almost being dumbed down sometimes.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I mean, it's fine. I'm not mad about it. But
Like, I'm trying to think of like the last hard like PS4 game I did. I guess it would be DMC5. Yeah.
yeah. It's just it's really it's really strange, and like just looking at, if you look at the numbers for things, it just like somewhat doesn't make sense like sometimes, but like other times like it does. Like I'm looking at like Zombie Army Trilogy and like that's like a 10% platinum. And it's like, does it really deserve it? Like, to be fair, like I think Zombie Army Trilogy is kind of easy, even if you play by yourself, but I don't know. So
I don't think I've seen like a PS4 game be like 9% and below, unless it was like you already knew it was going to be a hard game, or if it's brand new. I think most of like the big ones like stay around 20.
yeah, and it's crazy because like even games that you would think wouldn't be like that are like that, like Sekiro, Bloodborne. Like what? Or like, are these trophy lists easy, or are we just getting good at games, or is there just too much info out on the internet that like it's easy for people? Like something's happening. I also think the availability of information, or I should say the accessibility of information is also another reason. I mean, when you have, and granted, I'm to blame for it because I make guides not as in depth as other people, but you know, when you have someone like Power PYX making a full ass guide, basically walking, like holding your hand through playing the game, yeah, you're gonna get the platinum pretty easily.
Well, I'm going through like PSNP right now, and I downsized it to platinum, very rare, because it's like a 10% I think size for very rare, and platform. We got Destiny. It looks like it's 6.9. Watch Dogs is at 8.7.
Because of one trophy.
Crash Bandicoot 2 is a 9.2. Dying Light's a 6.5.
That came out like in the early half of like the PS4 though, where it felt more like PS3 trophies.
Right. Knack was a something. Rise of the Tomb Raider is a 7.
Rises?
Yeah, Rise of the Tomb Raider is a 7% platinum.
Oh, that's a little surprising.
Mass Effect Andromeda is a 5.5. And Alien Isolation is a 6.03.
Yeah, see, like the thing you can tell with all those games is that most of them came out like in the early half.
The Outer Worlds, which came out last year, is a 9.3.
That came out last year. I thought it came out 2 years.
I don't know. I thought it was last year. Anthem's a 6.1, but that's because nobody played it. I'm trying to see. Hollow Knight, well, that's like a Souls type. That's a 9.4, but I think that's a little bit older. Avengers is a 8.1.
Yeah, that's probably like the least rare like newer game that's come out. There's obviously like harder ones.
And that's
Yeah.
obviously because of multiplayer.
Like we got Dirt 4.
I mean, even if you look at games like,
Because, like, if you go back to, like, the PS3, like, Force Unleashed 2, Force Unleashed 1, both under 10%.
Yeah.
Sports games are technically usually low, so.
yeah, like if I go back to the PS3, like games that you would think would be kind of easy on the PS3 that are just like that have a really low percentage.
Mhm.
Like, I'm just going down here.
Resident Evil 2 is, like, almost 20%.
Like Batman Arkham Asylum on the PS3 is like a 9% platinum. But on the PS4, I'm pretty sure it's like a 30. But I think that has to do with like users, like amount of users.
Okay.
You know, Batman Arkham City is an ultra rare 4.5. Infamous is like 11. I do think a lot of it. This is what it comes down to, I think, and Waves hit it right on the head. I think a lot of it is coming down to consciousness of playing games. Because if you take a game, for instance, like right here, I'm looking at Need for Speed Hot Pursuit on the PS3. Now, granted, it's been out since 2010, but Need for Speed Hot Pursuit on the PS3 has 314,000 game owners. Again, it's been out since 2010. It's got a 7.68% platinum. But if you look at the remastered, which has 1,755 game owners, the platinum percentage is a 17.25%. So I just think it comes down to people, again, making the decision of getting into it. I think a lot of people back on a PS3, granted, I'm guilty of it. I'm sure Waves is guilty of it. Just like playing a game for like 5 minutes or something and then just throwing that shit in the trash or just throwing it away to never be seen again. Like, that was something I did a lot on the PS3.
That's something I do a lot right now, so...
Yeah, and like there's nothing you can do about it sometimes, but I think that a lot of people aren't doing that on the PS4 anymore. Like when you're deciding to play a game, most people are gonna say, I'm getting this platinum.
Mm-hmm.
And to be fair, I'm kind of surprised that more games on like the PS4 nowadays don't have higher percentage platinums. Because like I just think that they're easy. Like someone riddled me why Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy is a 7% platinum. I mean, even with this measly 2,600 game owners, it doesn't even have 200 platinum achievers.
Yeah.
And the game doesn't ask for much. Now, granted, that has multiplayer, so maybe that's why. But
there's also the hard mode. Like, I know a lot of people bitch about that.
Yeah, but like that's like I didn't even like comparing that hard mode to like Jedi Outcast. Like it's really not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, again, that is a factor. The hard mode. Some people may find it hard. But I don't know.
Then you look at Jedi Fallen Order. It's like
30% or something.
30%.
Man, like I know it sounds like shitty, but like I do wish some games would just go back to like being hard. And you want to know a perfect example of this?
What?
The Crew and the Crew 2. The Crew is a sub 1% platinum that required you to do asinine things, asinine challenges, play with a shit ton of players, play for a shit ton of time. Crazy game. But the thing is like, it was enjoyable to an extent. So that's a sub 1% platinum. Then the Crew 2 comes out, and that's a 15% platinum, and it literally requires you to basically just like beat the game. That's it. Like they dumb the trophy list down so much for no reason almost.
Yeah.
So I think it also comes down to game structure as well. But again, there's a lot of things that it could really come down to.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like it's two things. More people are trophy hunting now, and game lists are just easier in general.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the accessibility of information definitely helps. I mean, when you're trying to get the 100%, like imagine you're trying to get the 100% in Red Dead 1 or Red Dead 2 or any game, and there's no information on what you have to do for the 100%. Like,
the only video is like this 480p video that someone shot with their
fucking
with their hand phone,
with their iPod, with their first generation or second generation iPod Touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like that I think that does offer a big bump as well. And like I said, I'm to blame for it too. I mean, I make videos on my channel that walk people through how to get the platinums in games, but I'm just not a huge fan of like literally holding someone's hand through a game. Like, figure some stuff out on your own, man. Like,
I feel like a lot of games now you can kind of figure it out on yourself also.
That is true. They are like, or maybe we just feel that way because we have some big ass brains now compared to like 10 years ago when we were like stupid middle schoolers or high schoolers.
Yeah, probably.
Yes.
Because like, I mean, like Ghost of Tsushima is literally just get everything on the map.
Yeah, just like clear the map out, platinum. Okay. Don't mind if I do.
And the game shows you where everything is. Like, I feel in some ways Assassin's Creed 2 is harder because it doesn't even show you where all the feathers are.
That's a great point, but the platinum percentage goes to show that. Ghost is double that. double the platinum percentage than AC2 on a PS3. But imagine if AC2 on a PS3 or AC2 in general, there was never a guide put out for the feathers.
Yeah.
How low do you think that percentage would be?
Pretty damn low.
Yeah.
I remember looking for all those feathers when I was a kid, and this was back when I didn't understand the internet.
Waves was definitely running around with like a chicken with his head cut off, looking for every goddamn
around,
feather.
An eagle vision, mind you.
Oh hell yeah! That's how I found the symbols. But
gaming was more fun back then.
Life was simpler back then. Well, Brian and I
stupid shit.
Brian and I talked about it when we were playing Marvels, and I think, you know, another thing that I really miss from games nowadays is like just like the trophies to do like stupid shit, like stupid random shit in a game. Like, there's no trophies in Marvel. There's like 1 or 2 trophies in Marvels that are like random, like kind of random trophies that you kind of have to try to get. But like there's nothing for that in like games. Like there could have been a trophy in like Wreckfest that was like complete a whole like 10-lap race without taking any damage. Like, how fucking hard that would have been. It would have been impossible. But like, I feel like a lot of games don't have those random kind of trophies, or the games that have them are like far and few between.
Yeah, I feel like that kind of died out in like early PS4 life cycle. Like, I remember Origins had like a trophy where you had to kill a guy while he was on fire or something like that. It's such a random trophy, but like it kind of made you play the game differently.
Yeah,
compared to like
Valhalla has it too.
Like, does it also?
You have to kill 3. You have to kill 3 shield bearers while you're on fire.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Like PlayStation. What was this? Astro's Playroom. You know, I loved all the random trophies in the game. Get a strike in a memory meadow. Get hit by flying rubbish in memory meadow. You know, like certain things. Juggle a ball 5 times in a frog suit.
Hell
I
yeah!
about those.
You know, divide or jump 3 times during a spin attack on ice. Okay, you know what? I don't mind that.
Yeah, I think
like the most random trophy that I've seen recently is like Ghost of Tsushima, where it's just like kick some guy off a hill.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yeah. I just think that that's something that misses from trophy list. I think what happens is that games get developed and then they kind of use the in-game, like, you know, whatever stats or, you know, how many whatever we put in, and you know, it's basically like collectathons. Is the trophy list is a collectathon,
Mm-hmm.
sadly. And some games may add like one or two random trophies, but you know, I miss when they gave like a trophy for like getting 100% completion and that's it. Because the way that I look at trophies, you know, there's two types of trophy lists, right? There's a trophy list where you progress through it, and you can earn like a trophy or two a day, whether it's like a random trophy that you get, or making progression in a story or something like that, right? And by the time you beat the story, you have the platinum. Maybe you have to do a few cleanup things, but for the most part, you're like 80-90% done the trophies. Then you have other games where it's backloaded, so you literally play the game for like 60-80 hours and earn like no fucking trophies, and then you earn them all at once at the end, because all of their trophies are like progression related.
I hate those kinds of trophies because I feel like I'm doing no progress at all.
Yeah, it's like annoying, and it's weird because like Avengers, fuck, man, I hate like talking about this game so much, but like Avengers kind of splits it because they front load all of your campaign trophies because you have to play the campaign, and you're like, hey, I'm making some progress. I'm like 40% done. I'm doing some work right now, and then you get stuck in like a brick wall for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Until you get all of your grindy ass level based trophies, and then you're like, okay, now I'm starting to make some progress again. And then by the time you're done making progress, you got the platinum, which actually is like a kind of an interesting way of doing it. But I feel like games just typically fall in those two other sectors where it's like you're earning trophies as you're slowly playing, or you're literally getting backloaded and you feel like you're making no progress until like you do everything. I feel like all the recent Assassin's Creed games have been like kind of backloaded. Because like you get a trophy for doing all the cairns and all the standing stones and all the quests and beating the story, and you're sitting at like 20 or 30% for like weeks, and then you finally get like everything done at one time.
Which is weird because there isn't like a trophy for finishing all the arcs, right?
Well, there is a trophy
like,
for every arc, yeah.
Oh, there is. Okay.
Yes, you have to do every arc for a trophy. Like there's trophies related to each arc that you do. But the thing is some of the arcs don't give you trophies, but you need them for like upgrade resources for other trophies.
That makes sense.
To fully upgrade the camp. So you have to end up doing them all at the end of the day. But yeah, I mean, this is the thing. Trophy lists will evolve. They've evolved from what they are to what they were to what they are, and they will evolve from what they are to what they will be 5 years from now. It's just waiting to see what happens. Maybe we'll go back to the good old PS3 days of bullshit. Who knows?
That'd be awesome.
I would love to see it, but I know other people wouldn't. But we can end on that banger of a comment because I'm sure people don't want to see that. But
the only thing I wouldn't want to see is like multiplayer trophies.
Man, I want to see them. I want to see something. Let me don't make
I don't want
don't make me pull some Far Cry 2 bullshit, but let me experience. I'll experience a little bit of the multiplayer.
I don't want to play some like whack ass fucking multiplayer that someone made on their free time that nobody's gonna play.
Well, I didn't mind the multiplayer for like Far Cry 4 or was it 4? Yeah. You know, all you had to do was just play the game, multiplayer, test it out and all that. You had to play a little bit, but that was it.
Yeah, play every match, like stuff like that's like I'm fine with that.
That's
but,
fine with me.
I mean, I'm fine with that. I'm talking about like the ones that made you go to like the highest level and you have to have like 1 trillion kills, and while there's only like 2 people playing on it throughout its entire life.
Oh, so you're basically talking Far Cry 2.
You're right.
Unlock all your field manuals.
Fucking Homefront.
Oh yeah, fuck that. Bad Company. Bad Company 1.
Where your stats were saved on your console, so if some shit happened to your console, like you're fucked basically.
Yikes. But we'll end her on this note. We passed the good old 3-hour mark. Which
it's a good mark to pass.
Which wasn't expected at all. Brian's struggling right now. I feel it.
I really am.
But no, thank you guys all for stopping by for our good little discussion. We always have fun. If you guys have any comments or anything, or suggestions for topics, leave them in the comments below. Thank you guys for all the support that we've gotten recently. We all really do appreciate that. Any final remarks you guys have?
Is it nap time yet?
Maybe, but I know what I need to do.
I gotta
Video
take a
games
piss.
are cool. Is all I want to say.
What's up, Waves?
Video games are cool. That's all I want to say. And I gotta take a piss.
Hell yeah, I gotta take a big ass piss. The main vein's about to be drained.